What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Man, I'm vibed out, feeling immaculate, feeling real good about my self today. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? and I like my dress. You know what I'm saying? I really like my shirt today. I don't know about you, man.
I've seen you rock a Cowboys.
You know what I'm saying, man? No, I'm rocking Dion. Can I just leave it at Dion?
Is that what it is?
And this is like my glory years right here. This is, you know.
Is that a Culture Kings purchase?
It is.
Is
Shout
it?
out to Culture
See,
Kings.
this is what I mean, though. Why don't they have Steeler gear like that?
They
don't have Steeler gear like that. That pisses me off.
And you know, for me, this taps into my nostalgia because this is like when I was growing up, Cowboy fan. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Why can't they make a Rod Woodson shirt like that?
Bro, they need
a Greg
to.
Lloyd,
Think
Kevin
about,
Green.
Bro, if there was a Rod Woodson shirt like this,
100%
I would rock it. 100%. But you don't get this with Culture Kings. They don't make it with them, bro. It's unfortunate, man. But I just, yeah. It's tapped into my my heart. And I'm going to see some family today too, man. You know when I go back home, how they be feeling. They be like, oh, he's back. It's him.
How they feeling about the Cowboys
he got
right now?
the start. Well, just depending on who quarterback, what day of the week it is. So far, so good this week. Yeah, so far, so good this week.
Yeah, they haven't been bad with Dak.
And you got to think, man, Dak came back and had that big performance, so they still riding high on that too.
Not only that, Cooper Rush had a bad game as his final
it made
one.
it perfect.
Yeah, it was like the perfect transition.
We don't have to make it awkward or uncomfortable. It was a smooth transition. So everybody in Cowboy land back home, they are on cloud nine. They're just smooth something. They're already talking about, man, we're going to get Cowboys, Bills, Super Bowl. That's what they holler. I'm just throwing out. That's
Wait. What's the scoop on the Bills right now? Because they're saying this injury might be a little more serious.
So because they're going to look at it, everybody freaks out, correct?
Yeah.
That's literally what they said. They're going to look at his UCL and evaluate it. They said it's nothing of it's so serious that he's not going to play. They just said they're going to look at it. And everybody lost their mind, bro. That's all.
So he's still playing.
Bro, he threw
Is this a Moats report?
You tell me the dot you saw him throw right
I did
afterwards.
see it.
Okay.
Could have been adrenaline, though, a little bit.
That's cool. You tell me the dot he threw. 7 had injury.
Yeah.
Elbow. Similar.
Well, that's what everyone's bringing up because he was shaking it like the same way Ben has.
Yeah, but we didn't see Ben rifle that thing 70 yards downfield on a rope hit dude right in the chest.
Our line didn't hold up enough for him.
However,
I've seen those throws many times. Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
With Allen, could he just be out like a few weeks or something? I
Well,
think it's not like a season-ending thing, but
for me, they said they're gonna look at it. So I'm not about to overreact one way or the other. If they look at it, they look at it. If they don't, they don't. If he put a brace on and ball out, cool. If he go out there with no brace and ball out, cool. But yeah, ain't nothing to panic over.
listen, I'm just saying though, like that could change the AFC dynamics a little bit here.
Oh, well, absolutely. But you think
If he's out for like 4 or 5 weeks, you know what I mean?
Because then the Bills would come down a notch. Absolutely. But right now, when you're talking about the AFC as a whole, you still got a good amount of teams with them 5 and 6 wins right now, man.
I know.
Nah.
And I thought Bills would be the lock to win the AFC East, but if Allen's out, then things could get a little bit more muddy.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I still think the Bills would make the playoffs.
Well, because you think even with Jets and Miami, you're potentially looking at 3 teams trying to come out that AFC East right now.
I mean, really 4. Patriots are 5-4.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Really pisses me off. 'Cause we're just as good as all those teams. I know Bills. Bills are kind of like a level up with Josh Allen right now, but you just saw them lose to the Jets.
Yeah, but even the Jets, they got what, 6 wins? You're not feeling it.
I'm just really not happy we're 2-6.
He was like, yo, I don't respect the Jets 6
I'm
dubs.
happy. I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm really happy we got a game coming up here, so I could stop saying, "Oh, we should have beat the Dolphins. We should have beat the Jets and the Patriots."
We need some new action.
I need something new.
Yeah,
Can we just get a new win now? Can we just beat the Saints and start getting on a roll here?
I can respect it, baby. I can respect it. But let's start the show how we usually do.
I'm tired of my own excuses. I actually am. It's like I have a script here.
And we would typically start the show that we normally do, but I did notice that AJ Martinez has already came in this thing with the big boy shout out. He's like, yo, listen, I don't care what y'all talking about. I got something I need to get off my chest. So instead of starting the show the way we normally do with the shout outs, we're going to start with AJ Martinez because he came in here with a nice good morning for the culture. So after we tap into AJ, then we will start the show how we normally do. But we do appreciate you, AJ, from the heart.
AJ Martinez says, "Good morning. God bless all. The 69 car is actually 13, and it had a cougar in it when Ricky Bobby was learning to drive blindfolded. Mad America needs a cheetah wearing a 69 jersey in the coach's box, motivating him to call better plays. So he clarified his last comment from the podcast 2 days ago.
Correct. And he's referring to the movie Talladega Nights for those that haven't seen it.
Come on, dude. You can count on me seeing that one. Talladega Nights.
Okay.
Step Brothers.
Okay.
Will Ferrell classics.
I'm sorry. I just
Anchorman.
I don't take it for granted. That's all. I just can't take it for granted nowadays. But it is good to hear that you've actually seen that as well. And that is a pretty dope analogy because that's all it took for Ricky Bobby to get his mojo back, to step it up and be the driver that we all grew to love. You know? So hopefully for Matt Canada, or Matt America as AJ likes to refer to him, hopefully the Cougar will get him going. You know? Maybe it's Dotson. Put Dotson out there. You know?
I got the 69 jersey.
And Dotson said he could be the cheetah. So there you have it.
Wait, I thought we were putting Matt Canada in the box with the cheetah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in the concept of 69, Dotson, how it's all linked together. That's all.
Oh, right. So we're using my 69 jersey, not Dotson's?
But because you're like an extension of Dotson. Because you were like the first one hollering Pro Bowl for him. So
I'm fine with that. I just want to know what's at stake. If I give up the 69 jersey, it's to try to spark Matt Canada.
Correct. Yes.
Putting it on a cheetah.
Yes. And the cheetah's connected because of Dotson saying he could beat the cheetah in the past.
How are we getting the jersey on the cheetah?
Good luck. Actually, no. Who was it? Was it Malik? No, it was Steven. Who was the one who was on the show that was very confident about handling the cheetah?
Yeah, he was just going to sucker punch him.
That was Steven, right?
I think it was.
That was Steven,
I think it was our last.
Yeah, he said he's going to punch him in the nose, and then he's going to get him, and he's good. Yeah, and he was like, not with a tiger, but with a cheetah, definitely. So we will call up Steven, and he will be the one to go ahead and put the cheetah, in the jersey.
That works.
Yeah, there you go. I'll commentate it. That's what I'll do. From a safe location. All right. But shout out to you, though, AJ. We greatly appreciate your support for the show, man. But, now let's start the show how we always do. Even though it's early in the morning, we don't care. Let us know where you are tuning in from, and we will give you those big boy shout-outs to start today's show.
This is random, but I kind of want to start out with this. And
Did you like my cowboy shirt?
Do I?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Bro, this don't tap into the nostalgia, though. It's prime time.
No.
It's Aikman. Yeah.
Not my vibe.
You don't see Emmett up there? Irvin, playmaker. You know what I'm saying? You don't like it?
If it was a Bus one or a Rod Woodson one, I'd be all about it. But
5-time. That's crazy.
Doesn't fit my vibe.
All right. But you like Primetime, though, right?
He's a great player.
That's what I'm saying.
All-time player.
And doing his thing as a coach, too.
Oh, yeah. I really like
so
what
that's
he's
why I
doing
was like, I felt
Jackson
like
State.
he was kind of like
hearing some of his speeches and stuff.
Bro,
like,
he's elite with it, bro.
He's a good leader, man.
He gets you motivated, man. Absolutely. So that's the other reason why I wanted to put
He's trying to raise men the right way.
Absolutely.
You got to appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. So shout out to Deion Sanders, man. Especially Cowboys Deion Sanders. Oof. Ain't nothing like Cowboys Deion Sanders.
How about this one? Maybe we could check back for an answer at the end of our shout-outs, because this is Rod Dulles. His question of the day. Who caught a 40-yard pass to help set up Chris Boswell's go-ahead 26-yard field goal midway through the final quarter of the Steelers' 26-24 win over the Colts, Week 9 of 2019? This was Mason Duck.
Oh, Jesus.
I have a guess. Deion Kane.
Cool.
That's my guess. I just want to see if that's right or not, because it's probably someone so obscure.
It's just... It's 9:40 a.m. I am not trying to think that hard right now, bro. I'm not going to lie to you.
Rod Dulles, give us the answer.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro, that's a lot to be asking at 9:40 in the morning. But if he says Deion Kane, I'll go with Eric Ebron. Did Ebron even play that game?
He wasn't.
Oh,
he wasn't on the team yet, 2019.
All right. I don't even know who's on the team.
I think we still advanced.
I'll go Vance then.
Okay.
Yeah.
My other guess is Trey Edmonds. He kind of had a game against the Colts.
He said a 40-yard catch, though.
I know. Didn't he catch like a screen pass or something, though?
I don't know. Maybe.
I know. I remember him running for a decent gain. I can't remember if it was a screen or just a straight-up handoff.
Got you.
My number one guess is Deion Kane, though. I'm going to stick with that.
Probably. So since you said I can't go with Deion, since you said Deion, I'll go Vance then. Because it's not going to be somebody that we expect.
People are saying Juju in there. I need to see what Rod Dulles says.
Yeah.
He says y'all want to wait till the end of the show for the answer. I mean, as long as you hang around, I just want to see the answer.
Well, yeah, one way or the other. But we're going to need to get this answer up out there. Yes.
Okay. Javier Mori, 702, Vegas.
Vegas.
Aaron Jade, tuning in from the Sunshine State.
Okay.
Jay, you're Hartford, Connecticut.
Shout out
the
to
big
Hartford.
860.
All right, let me tap in. I got Nick White. You know, he tuned in from the 918 Tulsa, Oklahoma, baby. Then we also got Ethan Sexton tuning in from Spain. Well, hello. All right, next up on the hotline, Joe Gerbis. He's tuning in from the 940 Dallas, checking in and checking good. Then after that, we have Oh, here we go. Yun Rico tuning in from Rochester, New York, the 585 home of the garbage plates. Then T Wavy, the 252 Wilson, North Carolina. And I will wrap it up with Rico or Recco Glover tuning in from Quipper. Aliquipper, baby. So shout out.
Super chats.
Let's get after it, man.
AJ Martinez got 3 in a row.
And then after that, man, we're gonna get these topics on for the day. We're gonna drop this topic today, Deke. We're gonna get to them. We got heat for them today.
AJ Martinez says, "Good morning to all. God bless. Moats and Deke, number 1."
Hey, no, man. Salute you, AJ. We greatly appreciate you as always.
Also says Sabotage 7.
There
Shout
it is.
out to 7
There
and
it is.
Deke for leading S7.
There it is.
I'm assuming he means
Sabotage 7 charge. Yeah.
Right. S7 equals Sabotage 7.
You the leader
Right.
of the sabotage charge.
I was on that story
Mm-hmm.
before anyone else. AJ Martinez. Shout out Trina, the Barbarian,
There
D
it is.
Brown,
There it
Official
is.
Momentum,
What up?
Cosmo Phi,
What up, though?
and all the kind people in the chat.
Let's
Aruski.
go. Let's go.
Child of the Corn. Yo, fellas, do you think the Steelers communication, is that what he means? He got it abbreviated. Community
That's
is
what it's
being
looking like.
harsh,
It's
being too harsh on
Yeah.
Naji this year. He accomplished a lot last season, and folks want to write him off so quickly. How do you see the rest of the year going for him?
Yeah, child of the corn, man. Yeah. Fans are at times going to react a little bit too harshly, but at the same time, they're going to praise him a little bit too heavily as well. It kind of goes both ways. So, yes, this year, it's the other side of it, right? Where people are holding him a little bit more accountable. People are projecting a little bit, in the sense of they want a more consistent, they want it to look a certain way, and it just hasn't been. So yeah, they're gonna be, a little bit more harsh on him. And then when you I guess parallel that with the losing on top of it, it just kind of adds to it. Whereas I think if we're winning and he's not playing as well, people aren't going to be highlighting him to that same extent. But when you're losing week in and week out, and we're asking ourselves, hey, we don't want to put all this pressure on a young rookie quarterback, what do? You're supposed to turn to the run game, but that hasn't been there, and he's the first rounder from a year ago. They're gonna have some type of feeling about it, man. But in terms of how do I think he finishes the year? Well, it's gonna be interesting, man, because you hear how Coach Tomlin talked about Jaylen Warren, and he's like not really sounding like he's gonna be minimizing his role. It sounds like it's gonna be continuing to expand. So yeah, I'm hoping for Naji that he picks it up, so that way he can still be the guy, and still be, making it look like he's holding it down for the first round draft pick running backs. But I really don't know how this thing is going to go right now, man, because Jaylen has been playing at a high level. And if Coach Tomlin is saying he's going to continue to give him more opportunities, if the productivity keeps going up, you're not going to dial it back for him. You're going to keep expanding that. So for Naji, he better pick it up sooner rather than later, from my perspective at least.
And that's probably part of it too. If we didn't have anyone else that was looking as good as Jaylen Warren when we're handing the ball off, an extra 8 or 9 times outside of Naji, then we probably wouldn't be talking about Naji being bad as much, because we'd probably point to the offensive line.
Right, because there wouldn't be another.
But we're seeing bursts from Jaylen Warren, and we're like, yo, what's going on with Naji? Because it feels like there's a clear difference when each of them get the ball.
It's like you can't tell me it's O-line, but we got different running back in there, not as high pedigree, different body type, and he runs behind that same O-line and has success. Like, I get it in terms of the box count, and that is factual. At times when Naji is in, they bring that extra defender down, and a lot of times that extra defender is the free man. But that does still go back to Naji, you got to beat the one-on-one or make a guy miss, right, so to speak. But then the other side is it's like, yeah, we get it. The O-line hasn't been the most consistent. But regardless of those variables, when Jaylen Warren is out there, he consistently is getting productive, explosive style plays. So, yeah, context matters, but productivity trumps all in certain points. And I think that this is one of those situations that we're starting to see unfold. And like I said, just hearing Coach Tomlin speak on it, when he talks, man, if you just listen, don't be surprised, you know? And that's one of them things that he definitely kind of sent that out there to me a little bit the other day.
Ryan Morris, what's up, boys? Love the show. If you guys need some help with pushing the show out to social media, hit me up.
All right.
I've had a successful agency for 4 years and counting. Love to help with the content.
Oh, salute, man. We greatly appreciate that then. Let's get it.
We got people that care.
Man, heck yeah, I like that, man. Good community. Really good community.
Camonier, Big Benjamins like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
There it is.
As quoted by Drake.
Yeah.
Have you listened to the album?
Oh, I have. I was going to ask have you, but then I kind of figured, I know Deke ain't heard this album yet.
I haven't yet. I'm telling you, you asked me like 4 or 5 years ago. I was on top of all the new music coming out.
It's all, man, you got more important things you're doing now, man, which I'm enjoying. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I like that you ain't got time to just be kicking it around listening to some Drake at 21, man. Get out there, baby. Heck yeah.
Well, it's nice to see Drake showing some respect to the GOAT. Camonier, comeback season starts now. Let's support this squad. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling it.
I mean, you talk about a favorable matchup, baby. This is the week right here, baby. This is the one right here.
Then we got, hold on.
Should be like 3 left, I think. Here. Yeah, just a couple left. Yeah.
Jay?
Mm-hmm.
Moats, how you feel about the Drake and 21 project?
I mean, it's cool. To me, it seems more like a Drake album with a lot of 21 features. I definitely wanted more 21. I wanted more Metro Boomin on it. But, I mean, it was dope, though. It was straight. Yeah, 21 is the dude, though, for me, man. Like, yeah. I rock with 21. Drake, it's hit or miss. But 21, he's the one for me, man. So, my favorite track on the album is 3 a.m. on Glenwood, you know? Yeah. That's my type of energy. It's 21. So, but the project is cool, though, man. It's cool.
We have an answer from Rod Dulles on the trivia question.
What is the answer? It
says it was James Washington.
James Washington. Shout out to James Washington.
Interesting. I can't visualize that one in my head.
2019, though, that was the year for him, though.
It was. Yeah, that was his best year. He had like 700 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 catches that stick out to me from that year was the one against the Bengals when Duck comes in and he stiff arms the dude and scores a touchdown. And then the other one against the Browns where it's like double coverage. Duck just throws it up and he's like leaning back and catches it.
That was one. Was that on Denzel? No.
I'm not 100% sure.
Because, I know you had the one that was like the double move.
That was with Ben. That was in 2020. I think COVID. Yeah. Young Rico. Not to say we will, but the reason I see QB not being off the table in the draft if we continue losing is because Omar can say KP was Colbert's pick.
So I get what you're saying, and technically, yes, that could be the case. And we're not saying that that's completely off the table either. We're just saying that if everything were to go as normal going forward, or Kenny kind of just, looks okay, but not too good, not too bad, we don't think that the Steelers are going to draft another quarterback in the first round the following year, because from a historical standpoint, there hasn't been a lot of teams that have done that. And even when we're talking about in the recency element of it, outside of Arizona Cardinals with Josh Rosen to Kyler Murray, you haven't really seen teams going back-to-back first-round quarterbacks, and that's why we're saying that we don't anticipate that happening here in Pittsburgh unless there was a regime change. But we don't see them cleaning house, firing Coach Tomlin and everybody either. So it's not a lot that, really points to that type of situation happening, man. But we're going to see, man. And hopefully for Kenny, if he keeps playing or he can continue to elevate and get more consistent, this conversation goes away. The only time these conversations happens is when you leave the door open. And you always hear me talk about that when it's, players saying who should start or not. Naji Harris. It's like, man, this conversation about Jaylen Warren and who should be RB1 has been started because of Naji opening that door. When we talked about wide receiver 1, the George Pickens wide receiver 1 door didn't get open because George was just killing it. He was, but it was also because of what? During training camp, Deontay wasn't out there as often, right? At the beginning part, getting the contract situated. Then you would see what? Inconsistent play. Drops showing up, right? When you do that and another guy is cooking, that's how that door opens. That's how that conversation starts. So with this, man, it's like, these are legitimate conversations that have to happen, but they're only going to happen if these players or coaches, continue to leave it where it's up for debate. So we shall see, man. We definitely shall.
That's the end of the Super Chats.
Yeah, so let's get after this first topic, man. And if you have not done so already, make sure you like the stream. We definitely appreciate you, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. But since we are officially coming out of the bye week, man, we did want to just address 3 things that we are looking for the Steelers to be improved in. 3 areas coming out of this bye, whether it's coaching related, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, specifics. We're just looking for 3 things that we want to see this Steelers team be improved upon coming out of the bye. So in the regular chat, or if you want to drop a little in the super, you could do that too. But either way, just drop 3 things that you want to see this team, the Steelers team specifically, 3 areas you want to see them improved upon coming out of the bye week. Alrighty. So I'll go with my first one. We'll go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. All right.
For me.
So for me, man, the first thing that I want to see coming out of this bye week is Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada continuing to build their trust and the trust for each other in this vein. As I've talked about, man, when you watch both of these guys, at times I feel like Matt Canada hasn't trusted Kenny with some of his calls and some of the positions that he would put him in. But then at times I feel like Kenny hasn't done enough to make Matt Canada want to believe in him all the way when he has expanded it at times. And you can kind of see just a little bit of the inconsistencies with reading or even some of the turnovers. But to me, I feel like for those 2 guys to continue or to be more successful, they have to find that common ground. If that common ground is, like we talked about the other day, dialing back the reads instead of saying, hey, everybody is on the table, simplifying and saying, look, man, I'm calling specific plays where these are the 2 reads that I want you to look at. If these 2 aren't here, either throw it away or run it. Like, if it has to get to that, and for Kenny, he feels comfortable with that, well, then great. If it's a scenario where Kenny feels that, hey, you haven't put too much on my plate, I just have to be better, and I can be better, well, then I need him to go out there and show that so that way Matt Canada can continue to call certain things that he's calling for him. Because to me, the disconnect has been a little bit of that. At times where it's like, man, Kenny can make this, this, and this, and he's done this. Now open it up. Canada doesn't want to open it up. Then it's times where it's like Canada is opening it up, but now Kenny's not making those reads. He's not making those throws. So I need them both to be on the same page because I do think that that will help this offense open up even more so because it's there. You see them moving the ball, but that's that little bit of detail, that little bit of instead of it just being, hey, we're getting yardage, but we're not finishing drives. To me, I think those could be some of the differences. Or instead of always having to go 12, 14 plays to score, now you might be able to get that quick straight, on the 3rd play of the series or on the 5th play of the series. Now you could take that shot right there. So I need both of them to just continue to build that trust, man.
You stole my answer.
Ooh, okay.
Pickett, continue to improve. I like what I've seen so far, but I think up to this point, if we are serious about making a playoff run, it's just not cutting it.
Yeah.
It's fine for Pickett's first, 4 or 5 games starting to get acclimated with the NFL, but now we got, I think, not a lot of other Steeler fans think this out there, but a serious chance to make a little bit of a run, make a little hay in this second half and try to get back into this playoff mix. So he's going to have to improve. I've, again, liked what I've seen so far, and I think he will. It's just we got to see it for the second half. And if it goes to what you said, where it's a Canada and Pickett thing, where they both got to be on the same page, and so be it. Because, Canada needs to improve too. Yeah. So I actually think your answer was perfect. But, I just improvement from the offense as a whole. I do have another thing on the offense, but I'll save that for my next bullet point. But particularly Pickett, offense, Canada, just kind of be in sequence there.
Respect. I like that. Second thing that I had, man, was more consistency in the run game. And the reason why I phrase it as more consistency is because, as you've heard me talk about, man, it hasn't just been one person. It hasn't just been Naji not running well. It hasn't just been the O-line not blocking well. It hasn't just been the wide receivers not sustaining their blocks long enough. It hasn't just been Matt Canada scheming up just bad blocking matchups either. All of those players, all of those people that I just talked about have had their hand in this running game not being as consistent as it needs to be. And for me, when you talk about the bye week, man, a big part of the bye week is self-scouting. It's about learning what you are doing well and what you're struggling at. And whether you simplify, whether you expand, whether you change up some of the little details, the little minute stuff. And we're talking about offensive coordinator. It was like, yeah, man, you got to decide, hey, do you want this guard backside one-on-one? Or do you want to have, a tight end coming back there to hit a guy? Do you want to have, this wide receiver trying to block this D on the front side linebacker? Or do you want to have that being a bigger body, fullback, tight end type? Or do you double that? Are you pulling that? Those are some of the things that I'm looking for being improved as well when we're talking about the consistency of this running game. some of that stuff, man, if it can't be a wide receiver sustaining his block, man, stop putting him out there in that situation. But those are the things that I need to see improved upon from Matt Canada. When you're talking about the actual running from Naji, being more decisive. We see little flashes of it, but not enough of it consistently. We need to see that more, in terms of just being decisive when he's running that rock. That will help with this running game being consistent. When you talk about the offensive line, man, just winning your blocks. There's times where they win it and it looks good. And then there's times where they don't win it and it looks, what you would think it would look like.
Horrific.
Yeah, that's a very nice way to put it.
Well, and sometimes it looks like the defense is sending like 9 dudes because they just know we're running the ball.
Absolutely. And when we're talking about all of that goes into it, man. When we're talking about how we're going to dress it up.
Right.
How are, the timing of when you're calling it. Are you being predictable? And even if you are being predictable, is it a situation where, hey, your predictability, but you're telling them you can't stop
At least you know you can win. That's what the Titans do.
Absolutely. That's the other part of it. So all of that, when we're talking about consistency in the run game, that's what I'm looking for. Now, is it going to be to that level coming out of this? More than likely, no. But I want to see an uptick. I want to see it feel and look. And when we circle the stats, it's like, oh, even the numbers reflect that. That's what we're looking for. At least that's what I'm looking for, this team being improved upon as well coming out of this bye.
You copy my answers, dude.
Man, we really simpatico like that, man? We was in the zone?
I think these two are easy, though. Anyone would say these two, right?
I was just saying, right?
Offense as a whole, Pickett Canada, that needs to improve. But also, the run game. That's my second one.
All right.
To be frank, it has sucked up to this point.
That's a nice way to put it as well. Mm-hmm.
What's surprising to me, though, is I wanted to look up our rush yards per game when you compare it to the rest of the league.
Mm-hmm.
We're bottom 6, so what would that be? 32 minus 6. 26th in the league in our rush yards per game. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised at the number, though. 94.9. Mm-hmm. That actually doesn't sound as bad as what it's looked like.
Well, because the way we get a lot of our yardage is
That's
QB
what it is.
run.
Yep.
Yeah,
QB
scramble.
Pickett's averaging 19 yards per game, and then you got to think we got some Claypool jet sweeps.
Bro, you got a Mitch who had a 30-something. Yeah, so with that is definitely skewed because I would always look at the yards, total rushing yards after the game, and we're always 90-something or even 100-something, but Naji will have like 30. Jalen Warner have 20, but then it'd be a 10 jet sweep, a 6 jet sweep. Oh, quarterback got 20
15,
yards.
20.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, 100% right.
Yep.
Naji up to this point, 3.3 yards per carry.
Yeah.
361 yards. Jalen Warren, 5.3 yards per carry.
Yeah. No, he's been, like I said, the productivity is there, the eyeball test is there, and the numbers reflect it as well.
Just needs to be better for all the reasons that you said. Naji needs to be better because there are times where he's just getting screwed and the whole defense is after him. Yeah. But there are other times where he doesn't help himself. And maybe those are few or far between. Maybe it happens 3 or 4 times. But that could be the difference of us saying, like, man, Naji, we got to bench his ass, get Warren in there, versus like, okay, I'm seeing something from Naji. There's something there as long as we could start doing something for it. It becomes less of a Naji problem.
Correct.
If he could maybe hit that hole the once or twice that he has the opportunity as opposed to juking around a dude and losing 2 yards.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got to improve.
Yeah, and for Naji, man, him juking, he loses power. But his game is predicated, or should be predicated on power. His best runs collegiately and professionally have been based off of his power. Even when he jumps over a guy, it was predicated off of him running a guy over earlier. And he's kind of shifted that, but he has to get back to that element of it, man. So hopefully he does. And hopefully for him, man, when we talk about self-scouting during the bye week, hopefully that's something that he was able to kind of identify. So, now for the third and final thing that I have for areas that I want this team to be improved upon coming out of the bye week is the better finish from the DBs. And I'm specific on the finish part because I don't think they're playing bad. They've been in great position. And even when you're talking about A.J. Brown last week, it wasn't like he was running free. He just finished better. When you talk about the 2 touchdowns that A.J. had, the one on Minka and then the one on Edmonds, or excuse me, not the one on Akello, both of those were finishes. Minka got to finish better right there. That should be an interception. Shouldn't be a touchdown. When we talk about the Akello on A.J. Brown where he points at Akello and
because there were 2 on
Minka.
Akello.
Yeah. The second one I was like, all right. The first one I'm like, yeah, you got to finish better. Well, even the second one you still got to finish better. But I felt like he should have started better on both of them as well. But you look at the contrast of how James Pierre and Terrell Edmonds defended those exact same plays. All they did was just finish better. They were all in the same position, but they finished better. When we're talking about the Miami Dolphins game, why don't we get out of there from the defensive back standpoint? We had, 4 dropped interceptions. That's a finish thing. It's still you're in great position because you're making a play, you're getting the read, you're covering the guy, you're taking a chance, and you're getting the hands on the football, but you have to finish those plays. So to me, I just look at it, and I'm very specific about them just finishing. I think if they finish better coming out of this thing, the turnovers will continue to go up for us, but also we will minimize some of these explosive plays that have hurt us at times or kind of had us feel a certain type of way during a game because something was given up or a play that should have been made that was not played. And now instead of it being a pick and we feeling great, it's a drop pick, and now we kind of feeling deflated when this team is still able to continue on with their drive. So
Monte Casey coming back should help.
Oh, absolutely.
He sounded disgusted in his interview a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
He's like, we just got to catch the ball, man. And he knows something about that, leading the league in interceptions
100%,
back in,
man.
what was it, 2017, 2018.
And Coach Tomlin did say he wants to do more of the 3 safety stuff, man, once Casey's out there.
I was actually going to ask you about that. What role do you think he's going to have? Because him and Edmonds, whenever they were in the preseason, were a really nice dynamic duo.
I'm so ready to talk about it, baby.
When they were safety, because I think Minkah was sitting out a decent portion of that.
I'm so ready to talk about it.
Could we have, I'm guessing it's probably, the answer is yes to all of it. We have Casey running some Minkah stuff as like the free safety, and then have Minkah just roam around the field, do his thing, Troy Polamalu style.
So check it out.
Casey doing some slot corner.
Yeah, the way it's going to work is this. 3 safeties. That's what they're rolling with. Think instead of all of the nickel and big nickel that we played. Big nickel is when we would take out your Jameer Jones or your Malik Reed or whoever was the backside DN, and we would put Isaiah Loudermilk, DeMarvin Leal, Cam Hayward. They would go out there, right? But we would bring in Arthur Maulet. We would bring in or bump in Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton. So now the pros are you're going to be really good coverage-wise, right? But the cons are versus the run game, you're getting little DBs having to set the edge at time. If they pull a guard, if they pull a tackle or a center, or a tight end lead blocking, that's Arthur Maulet trying to set that edge. Or sometimes he's having to fill into that B gap. He can do it, but like we said, it's a very big difference when it's a little slot corner. Before you had DeMonte Casey, the question was, okay, could you run 3 safeties with Trey Norwood? We tried it, but we talked about Trey Norwood wasn't as consistent when we had put him out there at times. So the alternative was you go back to the more consistent players, which are your slot corners. Now what you have in Casey, you have 3 big body guys that can, number 1, play the run, but number 2, can all cover. We've seen Edmonds step up his coverage this year. Even last year we saw a step up. We know what Minkah can do from a coverage perspective. DeMonte Casey, like you talked about, led the league in interceptions. Was that 2018, 2019 season? So with all 3 of those guys, they're big, rangy safeties that can cover and they can play the run. So now when you go 3 safeties out there, offense can't just say, oh, we're going to check the run. Nah, because now that's not a mismatch you got anymore. That's a safety that's going to come downhill and hit somebody. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but we saw Casey in the preseason. He was lighting dudes up. And Edmonds has been lighting dudes up, and so has Minkah.
And now, okay, I can't just check to a run because you're in, 3 safeties. Like, okay, let me go to the pass. Well, now it's not a mismatch either because we actually got guys that can cover, guys that can actually win. All 3 of those guys can play the post. In terms of that middle field safety, all 3 of those guys can play the half field safety. All 3 of those guys can match up man to man. Now, obviously, we love Edmonds more on a tight end than you would say a slot receiver. But
sure,
a DeMonte Casey, we've seen him be able to cover some of those dudes. With Minkah, we know how he plays as well, man. So with all 3 of those guys, you got a lot of flexibility. So I do anticipate seeing a lot more of this 3 safety look like we were seeing in the preseason because of how all 3 of those guys are athletically and the productivity is there, and they're not young players. So communication, you don't have to worry about a drop off there. All 3 of those dudes know how to talk. They all have been, big parts of that position or having to communicate wherever they've been at. So that's the other thing that I do feel like we will see a good amount of it, where we'll be able to feel like, oh yeah, we 3 safeties out here now.
You don't think it'll necessarily be slotted, like we can't have in this formation Minkah and Casey back there and Edmonds up. Like, you know what I mean? That can't be a combination. But what you're saying is that maybe it can't. Like, we can have Minkah, Casey back there and Edmonds up on one.
Say it again.
I'm saying, like, it's not just, like, slotted where all right, Casey's only going to be playing free safety and slot corner. But maybe sometimes it could be Casey and Minka back there.
Yeah.
Edmonds up.
Yes.
Just all over the place.
Yeah, because think about this.
Yeah, I said that word.
Yeah, because at first we was talking, like, bro, I'm getting a little lost. But we've already seen Edmonds and Minka doing that, right? We've seen plays where Edmonds has to walk down into that box. We've seen plays where Edmonds walks down in his man-to-man. We've seen him walk down when his zone, when it's cover 3. So they've already had that imprint. So the beauty of that is when you cut it on tape now and you bring a KZ out there, you can't just say, well, we've never seen Edmonds down in the box before. We've never seen Minka play in the post. We've never seen Minka rock. We've seen all that, so it's not a telltale sign. There's no indication of what you're going to be trying to do because of how they've set it up. And even in the preseason, minus Minka, that also allowed them to get tape on DeMonte down in the box, back in the safety spot, or back in the middle of the field, half field. We've seen him do it all. So once again, if I'm an offensive coordinator, if I'm a person on offense watching tape, there's still no tip right there. There's no telltale sign, which is huge when you're talking about some of these package groupings. Because if that's Arthur Mallette, right? You know you're never going to see Arthur Mallette playing in the post. You're never going to see him playing in the middle of the field. So if he's out there with those two guys, you could kind of dictate, oh, he's going to be here with Trey Norwood. We could tell, all right, they're playing him right here as a slot today. He's going to exclusively be right here. They're not putting him back in the middle of this field. Oh, he's back there. Man, they're not going to walk him down in his box. Like, you just kind of could tell with how they've been using him. So that's the thing. Whereas with all three of these dudes, there is no tell because they've used all three of them interchangeably at various points in time. So to me, I mean, I think it's just all good with Casey coming back, man. I think it's really going to help this defense out. And he has ball skills. So when you're talking about turnovers, we're adding a guy that led the league in turnovers, led the league in interceptions. Like, that's a huge, huge boost on top of getting a TJ Watt back, man.
Yeah, basically, we don't care about what their position designation
you see what I'm saying?
is.
Yeah.
Because what I was getting at is just because, like, Casey's considered a free safety and Minka's a free safety, that doesn't mean we can't still both have them out as the backfield safeties on a play.
Not at all.
Bring Edmonds up.
Think about it. How many, like, for every play that we've seen Minka jumping routes in the middle of the field, big hits, interceptions, that means that Terrell Edmonds is in the middle of the deep middle of the field holding it down. The same things that people say he can't do, he's already been proven that he could do, not just this year, last year. So when you talk about how they're interchangeable, that's already there. Casey, we already know can do those things. Right. That's on his tape from Atlanta. And then even in the preseason. So across the board, yeah, it doesn't matter how they want to label those dudes. We've already seen how they use those guys, and they've already shown that they are capable of producing there as well. And that's all you want to see, man.
So my last one for the 3 improvements kind of goes with yours, but you know what? Maybe it's a little bit more off the beaten trail. I just have defense across the board. Needs to be more consistent, needs to be firing on all cylinders. And I do think Casey coming back is going to help with that. And obviously TJ Watt coming back is going to help with that. Because if you look at these 3 phases, run game, secondary, and then the pass rush, it just hasn't all been there at the same time.
It has not.
It's been hit or miss. Some games we're stopping the run incredibly, but then we're giving up deep passes in the secondary and we can't get a pass rush going. Yeah. Sometimes we got a pass rush going, but we're not stopping the run. Sometimes we're getting a pass rush, we're stopping the run, we're just winning on the line of scrimmage, the front 7, but then Jalen Hurts hits us with a bomb over Keller Witherspoon. We give up explosive plays. So we just need to start firing on all cylinders, and I think TJ Watt being back is really going to help with that.
Yeah.
Because you see it. You see we're capable of doing it. It's just hit or miss. One quarter we're just going to go to sleep, and you'll be like, man, where's the Steelers' defense that we saw the other 3 quarters?
Yeah.
That's it.
Having TJ come back is going to be a huge, huge boost, man. A huge boost. It's the reason why he's the Defensive Player of the Year. It's the reason why you pay him what you pay him. He's a force multiplier. He makes it where you don't have to cover for 5, 6, sometimes 7 seconds. He makes your good players turn great. He makes your great players look freaky elite, you know? So him coming back, man, is definitely going to be a huge asset to this defense, man. So I'm excited about that. But
and William Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you did see he had the back in practice now. We're going to see what's up now.
Well,
because I'm
wondering, are they just trying to keep the story going a little bit?
He felt like that because I went back
Even though he's good, they want to just kind of take any liability away from what happened in Washington.
Like, I promise I'm with you because you go back and you follow along that story of when William Jackson said the back injury happened versus what Ron Rivera said. It is not the same messaging, bro. William Jackson is like, yo, yeah, they pulled me. No, he says, my back was hurting so bad that I couldn't go anymore, so that's why I had to stop playing. Ron Rivera says, oh, that's what he said. Well, we just pulled him. And he got left it at that, and it was like, Then William was like, yeah, the back, man, is just not getting better. And Ron is like, oh, he needs to communicate better if that's what's going on. It definitely seemed like, some type of, yeah.
And then Tomlin's first interview about
He's
Jackson,
like, he's fine, yeah.
he wasn't even thinking about a back injury.
Yes. I'm just like, yo, it's not added up. And then they're like, oh, we're realizing that he's more of a man-to-man press corner. This is his own scheme. He doesn't fit. Oh, we paid him this much money. Oh, and all these other things. I'm like, I'm not buying this back at all. I'm not. So I definitely agree. I kind of felt that way when I saw the back pop up. I'm like, oh, y'all got to do what y'all got to do. I get it. Play the game. I get it.
Terrell Austin saying it's feasible for Jackson to start week 10. And then also Jackson in his interview, when he was asked about the back injury, he was like, oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm almost 100%.
Yes. It does not add up, bro. And then even me watching the tape, I'm like, I don't see a player with a back injury. When I watch you pressed up man to man, you look dope. Now, granted, you're a little handsy at the catch point, and I'm cool with that. You're going to get some flags, but you're going to get some plays. It's cool. But I don't see no back. I don't see all that now. But,
Speaking of William Jackson, what's the deal with Pac-Man Jones just hating him?
Bro, holy smokes. But you know what? Part of me feels like Pac-Man not being able to... I think he looks at it like, yo, he's joining the ops. Because he was a part of...
Dude, this was happening, though, even earlier when he was on the Commanders.
Yeah, so that's the part I don't
like
all the way
he's put out some video shitting on him before.
But that's what I'm like, yo, is it because he left Cincy? And that's the part, I don't know. But that's the energy that I kind of looked at. I was like, okay, maybe it's because, yo, you left Cincy, so you got issue with it. And then you're joining Pittsburgh on top of this, so now you really, really got issue with it. But
Pac-Man's been on
that's what I was thinking too
himself.
So I'm like,
it's a business.
But then to what, and I'm like, oh, is it personal? But I'm like, he doesn't give me the energy like, yo, it's smoke per se. It's just like, I'm like low key, like just embarrassed by what you're doing type. You know what I mean? Like, does it seem malicious to you when he's talking to him? Like, I don't get the feeling of like, yo, he's gonna hurt him when he see him.
No.
That's what I mean. It's more like I'm clowning on you,
bullying him a little bit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm kind of like. I don't even know the full like. It's not static, but clearly you feel some type of way that you want to keep like ragging on him, posting, and carrying on the way that he is. So I don't know.
Maybe Jackson was the dude that was supposed to take Pac-Man's job with the Bengals.
Yeah, that's something like that could maybe that's the case. He was,
And they always had a little bit of a beef, even back at Cincy, and now that he's gone,
maybe that's it then.
Gives Pac-Man more license to shit on him. I don't know.
Maybe
it's just weird.
I mean,
it's kind of funny though. He's looking at a barbecue saying,
yeah,
where's William at?
Yeah, oh yeah, burnt. Or even him in the car, he's like, oh, you know what? Oh, I'm on. I'm like, God dang, bro. Shit.
He's got some other funny stories though, particularly associated with the Steelers, obviously.
Yeah.
The wild card game, and then remember the Joe Hayden jerseys a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Show up at his house.
I do, bro. He loses his mind. Yeah, Pac-Man's he's a different guy, man. I stay in my lane over here. Oh yeah, we won't mess with him over there.
Okay, so people were supposed to comment.
Yeah, they did. So we're gonna go
right?
through and see some of the improvements that they want to see from the squad.
Okay, I got Leah Warren.
Shout out to Leah.
Better run blocking / Naji hitting the holes. Okay, so that goes hand in hand with us talking about the running game. DBs actually catch the potential interception. You said that. Clean up unnecessary penalties.
I like
That's a good one to bring up.
Okay.
That we didn't have on our list for sure.
I got John Doe. John Doe says
she says she can go on though.
Only 3, Leah. Only 3. Be nice today. All right, John Doe says improve the offensive line's play, the play action game as well, and the defense keeping a lid on it. All 3.
I like this one from Sam Campbell. Playing like a team of brothers.
Ooh.
It doesn't seem like many dudes other than GP and JW are hungry to win. 2 explosive plays, and then 3 turnovers. Less of them on offense, more on defense.
Okay. I like that.
Sounds like a good formula.
Heck yeah. Rod Dollars says, number 1, the offensive line play. Number 2, better blocking from the wide receivers. Shout out. And then at number 3, better vision from the QB. All right. I like all 3 of those. We could definitely get behind that.
I'm trying to find another one.
I got you right here. Jay. Shout out to Jay. It says red zone offense, secondary turnovers, okay, and QB pressure / sacks as well.
I got to read this one.
Uh-oh. I'm nervous. You got me nervous.
Says handstands doesn't protect from shrinkage,
Oh.
and the weather is only going to get colder.
Are you wild?
And he says maybe QB in the first round would be good.
You got some faulty.
Pickett admitted he doesn't take
faulty
handstands.
stuff going away. Handstand. Maybe that's the problem, man.
It might be. I
Hold on.
Might need to slip him some.
Who's backing your company? I need to know where your money's coming from, man.
Handstands.
Yeah. Who's
That's
backing
not my company.
Okay. Just checking, man. Maybe you got faulty products out here, man. You telling them it's one thing, but
No,
it ain't
he already
living up to
admitted
the
he doesn't
extent.
use handstands.
All right, now,
I did
man.
the interview with him
Yeah.
at the softball game.
I'm just saying, man. Don't be out here giving off false info, man.
Here's what he did say, though. Whenever he looked at the package, he said, I kind of wish I did.
Ooh.
Said it might have helped.
He said still time.
He saw the bullet points. Billions of tablets sold. Win every handshake. Increase hand size.
And one suspension because D-Hop.
Yeah, D-Hop
D-Hop.
definitely did take it.
One suspension for D-Hop. Yep.
Yeah, handstands has been in the tank ever since one Pickett said he wasn't using it, and then D-Hop gets suspended. I mean, it's tough to come back from a public relations standpoint after that. Because Pickett was the main endorser after his hand grew from the combine to the pro day.
Yeah, some people are showers, some are growers. Absolutely, man.
But he admitted he didn't use it. He actually did the stretches that they talked about.
It's still crazy to me, bro.
Yeah, he said it actually worked. But maybe he does need some handstands, especially like this commenter said, with it getting a little colder. Wouldn't be the worst thing.
All right. Let's see.
So we can either go a few of these super chats or we can head to the next topic.
All right, so let's do this then. Let's pay a bill real quick.
Okay.
Pay a bill, knock out supers, and then go to that other topic. That's what we shall do. And today's show, I think we are going to be talking about our show being brought to you by some Balls Company, man. You know, the company that takes care of our danglies, Manscaped, the leaders in below the waistline grooming. And more importantly, their performance package, the 4.0. That's the one I like to use because it does keep them short and curlies short and nice and neat looking. You know, they say if you keep the grass low, the tree will continue to show. But the way you do that is with that Lawnmower 4.0, the one that has the light that goes on and off the different guards. I mean, it is waterproof. It is one of those things where it prevents or really helps reduce those nicks and cuts because nobody wants to get nicked and cut down there. That is not cool in any circumstances, all right? But then on top of that, man, when you talk about all the other products that they dish out, man, the revolver for your revolver, not a revolver. You don't want a revolver on your dangly twins. You want a reviver down there. You want a toner down there. Definitely don't want a revolver down there. Whatever you do, don't put that down there. All right. But on top of that, if we're gonna talk about anything, we're gonna have promo codes for you, baby. And this promo code is as simple as it can be. It's Moats. You use that, you get 20% off along with free shipping worldwide at manscaped.com. So stop wasting times. Make sure you go ahead and handle what you need to handle so that way your short and dangly twins and friends and whoever else gets to interact will be enjoying themselves. So shout out to Manscaped.
All right. What do we got?
Oh, we said we're going to go supers and then we'll hit that next topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Works for me. Let's see. I might not even have to go to the screenshots. No, I don't. Steeler Nation on fire. Moats. Burn that jersey. We don't support them.
Come on, man. You ain't think much. I'm supporting Primetime. Can I support Primetime and Aikman and Emmett? Those are like my guys. That's what I grew up on. Yeah.
You should just get a Jackson State polo or something like that.
But it ain't gonna have Aikman and Irv and Emmett. You know?
I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, that's like my childhood. Like I grew up. Yeah.
Don't they have any shirts with them without the Cowboys logos or something?
I don't know. Not on Culture
I guess
Kings.
not. Yeah, I guess not because that's how they're all associated with each other.
Yeah.
But you know how there's commercials sometimes where you have former players with generic ass jerseys. There's got to be a shirt company that couldn't get the license and just put Aikman D on and Irvin in there with Just like a white
I know
jersey and a
exactly
blue
what you're
number.
talking
No Cowboys. There's got to be a
Yo,
shirt company
I
doing
be
that.
seeing Dak. Dak used to be in the commercials like that before they started paying a little more and putting him in the Cowboys uni. He definitely would be. Yes. I hate that look, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. Pay the extra.
Pay the extra money, get him in the uniform, bro. Yes. Shout out to Steeler Nation on fire.
Sammy Buckets, red zone efficiency. Oh, this is his 3 improvements. Red zone efficiency. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Limiting splash plays and the run game.
Okay. Nah, red zone efficiency definitely there because we are making trips to the red zone. We just aren't finishing and capitalizing on it. So we definitely need to do that. Limiting the splash plays, that's what cost us mainly. When you talk about Bills and Eagles, the splash plays are what changed the whole trajectory of that game, the whole feeling of it, man. So absolutely. And we were in position for both of those splash plays even in those games. I mean, if you tackle Gabe Davis, whether it's Levi Wallace or Trey Norwood, it's a 50-yard catch. You're playing the next down. But instead, it turns into a 98-yard touchdown grab. That's what you can't have happen. Yeah. So 100%, man. I'm with you.
Kevin Carnegie.
Oh, and hold on. I did have one other that we did. Oh, no, actually, no, we're good. Yep, because we did Young Rico already. Yep.
Okay.
And Kevin Carnegie. I see you, Kevin Carnegie, joining the upper room. So welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Baby, we greatly appreciate you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, and I guess since I just paused for the calls for a second, make sure we liking the stream. Yeah, definitely want to do that, man. Like it up, like it up, like it up.
Cam Letson. Yo, boys, what's up?
What's
Feeling on
happening?
top of the world because Watt is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's Pickett to Pickens season officially. Have
Facts.
a blessed day, boys.
Facts.
God bless.
Yeah, man, nothing holding it back now, man. No Chase Claypool, so Pickens will have an expanded role. He's gonna have his snaps increase, and I'm hoping, and I do anticipate him, living up to that, man. But we're gonna find out. We are definitely gonna find out.
Jared Smith checking in from the 585.
Let's
Looking
get
forward to Watt coming back.
Hold on, is the
dominating.
585 New Mexico? I feel like that's Albuquerque.
Might be.
I feel like that's Albuquerque, New Mexico. Jared Smith, let me know if I'm right. I feel like the 585 is Albuquerque, though.
He says, also keep it up, guys. Love the content and look forward to the stream every week.
Nah, man, salute you, man. We appreciate you as well, baby.
Lou Boy, I heard someone pranked Pickett. They hit his grip. I mean
Whoa.
gloves.
Bro.
Come on.
Don't do it this time of year, though. Like you said, it's getting cold out. This is when Ben would actually bring the glove out. So we definitely don't want to mess with his gloves this time of year. Can't do that now.
No.
Don't want to do that.
That wasn't a funny joke.
You ain't like that joke? Deke said that ain't funny. Don't be joking like that to Deke, man. Oh, dang. 585 Rochester. Oh, man. All right. Rochester, New York. No, it was one of them ones, man. 585 is Rochester. So then what is the one for? I'm going to have to remember the next time. Shout out to Rochester, though, baby. And shout out to you, Jared Smith. I see you just spent the block as well. Rochester. I got you now. Rochester.
Mike Lang, random, but I would love to see the Steelers on Hard Knocks or even the new mid-season Hard Knocks show one year. No, I'm good.
We might be in that thing if we keep going the way that we're going, man. We got flexed out of the prime tizzy.
Oh, my God. I'm really pissed about that.
I tried to,
No one cares about Mahomes, Herbert. They want to see
Listen,
Pickett
bro.
Burrow.
I tried to, softly let you know ahead of time.
You know.
Yes, that's why I tried to softly say it earlier. Like, hey, man, they might be flexing this. They might be moving us. Yeah.
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
That's my favorite time slot, Sunday Night Football.
Word among high had came down. We was like, oh, gotcha. All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's BS, man.
Yeah, man.
America doesn't want Herbert Mahomes.
That boy said, yeah,
Give
we
me a
want
break.
Pickett Burrow. I was like, I think that decision's already been made, man. Yep. Yeah.
Bad decision.
Is it really, bro?
Yeah.
Is it
And listen. No. This is a message to NBC and Sunday Night Football.
Talk about the quarterbacks. What is the quarterback matchup? Just say it again.
Pickett Burrow versus Mahomes Herbert.
Say it. Just,
Ours is more interesting.
how do you figure? How do you if
We're about to go on a run.
we're projecting that, and maybe that does happen, but today that run has not happened. So we're just simply saying Pickett Burrow versus Mahomes Herbert. Man, Mahomes Herbert. People want to see that. You know that.
I don't want to see it. Here's a message to Sunday Night Football on NBC, though. When the Steelers go on this winning streak in the second half, Don't flex our last 2 or 3 games
Lord,
now. Don't flex them now. I don't want you to flex us versus the Browns or us versus the Ravens.
Deke,
don't flex it.
Deke, don't take it personal.
I am.
The Steelers put themselves in this position. If the Steelers win, they're not going to have
I don't
want to
be on Sunday Night Football for the rest of the year.
So now you
do not flex us. Do not flex us up into Sunday Night Football when all of a sudden Steelers versus Browns, Steelers versus Ravens late in the season is a primetime game because the Steelers are in the playoff mix.
So
don't do it Sunday Night Football. Keep that same energy. Keep the same energy.
But Deke, keeping that same energy, if the Steelers continue to not do what they're supposed to do, can they flex us out of that December 24th Saturday game?
I don't think that's a night game.
Is it? I'm about to say that's.
I think it's a 4 game. 4
okay.
o'clock. No, you might be right.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's the Christmas Eve one.
Immaculate Reception.
Mm-hmm. If we're keeping that energy,
you can't do that.
Oh no, you can't do that.
General.
I'm just asking. I was keeping that same energy. Or we go hit him with the. Hey, I'm looking at 1 o'clock.
We're retiring Franco's jersey.
I'm just saying. You see, you just gave the emphatic statement, bro. Like if we're keeping that same energy, are we gonna keep that same energy?
You're telling, no matter what, you're basically saying I'm telling them right now to flex us out of that?
No, you're telling them, like, yo, if we start winning.
Is that a Sunday Night Football game?
It's a Saturday night game. It's Saturday Night Football. Christmas on Sunday. It's the 24th. December 24th.
Amazon, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know what it's on, but it's the 24th. So that's what I'm just trying to figure out. Are we going to keep that same energy?
It is 8:15.
If you don't want them to flex us into anything, if we start winning, if we keep going down this path, can they flex us out of that one?
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just not.
All right. I'm saying. When we talk about keeping that same energy, just know it could go both ways with this situation, bro.
On NBC.
It could go both ways with this thing.
Where's
That's all I'm saying, bro.
I need to find out where this game's at. Steelers Raiders.
You concerned, bro? If it's on NBC, are you concerned?
I'm pissed because they don't deserve us anymore. You flex us out. I don't want any part of this. It's gonna be a good game. Pickett, Burrow, AFC North. It's a big game. This is the one where
it's big for us. Yes,
that's the one where we really stamp our winning streak.
It is big for us. It is very big for us. All I'm saying is, if we're looking around the league right now,
I think they'd be interested to see.
That'd be like the
young
Jags.
Pickett
that's like the Jags telling them,
"Yo, around in the second half."
That's the Jaguars saying right now, it's a big game for us this week, man. Hey, everybody need to be tuning into Jacksonville this week. It's like, yeah, I'm sure in Jacksonville y'all feel like that, but we don't care about what y'all got going on because y'all ain't doing enough in Jacksonville. That's all I'm saying, man. Around the league, we not the hot right now, man. We going through a little turmoil. They trying to figure out, are we going to tank or are we going to come back fight? That's what they trying to figure out right now, man.
Please tell me the Steelers have the TV schedule.
Jabbar just said, I'd gladly take a flex out of Christmas Eve. He said he don't want the flex game on Christmas. He said, hey, man, put us earlier.
Steelers website has it. Hold on, let me see. NFL Network.
Oh, so
we're good. We're good. NFL Network. No more Steelers on NBC rest of the year. Nope.
I don't think we gotta worry about it, man. We're good. We don't gotta worry about it no way, man.
Because look, we got this Ravens 1 o'clock game, week 17.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland Browns is still TBD.
Yeah.
So they're probably thinking about Steelers Sunday night.
No, everybody's last game is TBD right now, man.
I know, but I'm telling you, Steelers are going to be in the playoff mix at that point, week 17, week 18, and they're going to be thinking about flexing either Steelers Ravens or Steelers Browns in the prime time. Don't do it. Don't do it because you didn't believe in us back, what will that be, week 11. You didn't believe in us then.
I just hope that we earn that so we can go ahead and really have that conversation then, man.
They didn't believe we could provide good entertainment on week 11, Sunday Night Football. Don't start believing in us week 17, 18 all of a sudden. Boycott NBC. Sunday Night Football. Bullshit.
All because the Steelers losing. NBC in the wrong because they ain't want to put the Steelers out there. The Steelers losing, bro.
These producers need to have some foresight and understand all the context to our early struggles.
How are you gonna fall? I'm just saying, you got Mahomes
TJ
and
Watt's
Herbert.
coming back.
You have Mahomes and Herbert. We talk about Joe Burrow with no Jamar Chase. We talking Pittsburgh with Kenny Pickett, no Chase Claypool.
Honestly, it's not interesting. We know the Chiefs, Chargers are good teams. They're going to make the playoffs. We know that already.
So that's what we want to watch.
Bengals are teetering right now. They're kind of having a down year. Steelers on the comeback track. That's more interesting.
Or Steelers are having a down year. Some people say we're on a down year.
So far.
So far. So if you're a producer and you're like, yo, what's going to get the nation's attention? Who can we hold at 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday? Maybe they feel like Mahomes and Herbert can get you that. That's all.
I understand they're good quarterbacks, but these guys got to have some better forecasting. They don't understand. Steelers run they're about to go on. They just don't. I'm trying to warn them.
I'm with you, bro. And look, it's gonna happen. And when it happens, great. We can, maybe we can get them all as much as we need to there, man. But yo, I'm just saying you can't fault them for this decision today. For this week, we ain't seen the comeback just yet. We haven't seen this run that you're projecting. It hasn't happened just yet.
Well, even outside of the Pickett-Burrow showdown, do they understand what that logo means? That Steeler logo?
We'll talk about it.
The greatest franchise
talk about it.
In the NFL?
Talk about it.
That draws eyes. That draws attention.
Yeah.
It's called Steeler Nation for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They turn their backs to it.
But Steeler Nation has turned their backs on Steeler Nation right now as well. You get people saying, hey, man, we take it this year, man. We worried about draft picks, man. Come on, bro.
Well, up to this point, yeah. We are getting the fakes out of the way right now.
We're in the process of that still.
We're getting the fakes out of the way.
So once again, if I'm NBC and I know this, can't fault the boss being like, yo, we Kansas City and the Chargers, man. We know they prime time. We know both of these teams are gonna rock out the way they supposed to. We don't know what's happening over there. We know they got the logo, but we don't even know what their fan base doing right now. They got fans jumping ship. They got fans hollering about fire this dude. I ain't watching another game, man. We suck. Can we get in the top 5? Come on, man.
Next comment. Steeler Nation on fire. Could the Steelers put both Minka and Edmonds in the box together?
Absolutely could.
I guess anything's possible.
Yeah.
How we were talking about how we could utilize Casey, right?
No, 100%, man. All three of those dudes, man, open up a lot for this defense, man, in terms of just getting bigger body people out there, man. That helps you in a major way, man.
Jared Smith, Rochester, New York, Moats. I guess that goes back to the 8-5-8 or 5-8-5.
5-8-5, yep.
Thomas Dowdy. More fades the Pickens. Less predictable run formations. Leave Gunner completely off special teams.
No, you don't want to leave him off special teams, baby. Trust me on that.
Hopefully the men take that flex bump to heart.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't want to leave Gunner completely off special teams. He's been making tackles every game that he has not been a returner on special teams and been making blocks as well, man. You definitely don't want to leave him completely off. In terms of Pickens, I don't even want to say more fade balls. Actually, I would prefer you put it out in front of him and let him go get that thing. Because he's definitely capable of that. So that's what I want to see from him. But and the less predictable run formations. True. Or put it like this, less predictable run, like knowing when you're going to call that run. Because sometimes you do want a predictable run formation. Sometimes you want to have a Derek Watt out there and let him know, like, yes, we're running this route. But he's going to make this block. And if he could do that, then we're going to be good, baby. But I like your energy, man. Let's get it.
And then we got Jay McCoy joining the upper room.
Shout out to Jay McCoy and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All righty. So now we should be going towards, if I could figure this thing out,
game previews.
New Orleans Saints. What we liking about them boys and what we don't like about them boys. All right. So, as we always do, drop 3 things that you like about this New Orleans Saints team. Just 3 things and just likes. We'll get to the don't likes or dislikes in a few, but right now, just 3 things that we currently like about this New Orleans Saints team.
You want to start?
I guess I can start. I like the pass rush. Cam Jordan, I like how he wins one-on-ones consistently. 100+ career sack guy. Them beautiful numbers, by the way. Love his Jordan collection, too, of cleats. Fire. Love his celebration, too. It's like, oh. Take it to the next level. Like, I like all that. I'm a pass rusher dude. You know, I love that type of stuff. And I just like the fact that, you know, they can win. And in terms of Cam Jordan, he wins the one-on-ones, but they also can blitz, and they do it a good amount. That's one of Dennis Allen's staples, man, in terms of trying to speed you up. But I just like their pass rush, man. I think that it definitely creates a hostile environment at times for quarterbacks, and it makes them have to play a little bit faster. Even when they're not getting home, they're still influencing the quarterback, and that's something that they have been able to do consistently, man.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because one of my thoughts with the pass rush for them was it wasn't too impressive when they blitzed the fort. Now, I'm with you. Cam Jordan's always kind of like making his way in there. It's never anything pretty.
Nope.
So, like, the quarterback doesn't get the ball out quick, he's got a chance just to like pick up a sack.
Yeah, that's how he wins, but he wins a lot like that, where it's like it's not necessarily a TJ Watt, I fried you off the dribble, but if you hold that ball longer than you're supposed to, if you don't go in your first read, you're not pumping this rock and holding it and pumping it again. That's when Cam Jordan wins. That's his style. He, as a DN, his game is really similar to Cam Hayward's as a 3 technique, in the sense of they don't win flashy ways, but they win by just fundamental. And then as soon as you hold that ball longer than you're supposed to, they're getting off of that block at the end of this thing and finish it, man. It's dope. That's why, he is as good as he is, man. It's more than one way to skin a cat, baby. No more cat. I forgot. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I'm a cat lover. I love all animals. Okay. It's more than one way to have success out there. There we go.
Yeah, that's why I was curious why you brought the pass rush up, because I wasn't like too impressed whenever they brought 4. Now, you're right. They do try to blitz a little bit.
And you also have to remember, too, man, watching them against Baltimore, what's the scary factor? Lamar Jackson escaping out the pocket. So that's the other thing when you're watching them in terms of how they rush and how they would attack Lamar. Part of that is we don't want him to take off, because if he does, some people view him as more dangerous running than he do throwing the ball. So that's the other part. But that's how they act to win. You know what I mean? Is with that group up front.
Right. Yeah. It's nothing crazy.
It's not.
Because they don't have a TJ Watt. They don't have an Alex Highsmith when he's on cooking like that. They got Cam Jordan coming from the outside. Yeah,
it's Cam Jordan.
There's no knock against him because he does win. He bullies the dudes.
He has the quietest 112 career sacks. Think about that. Like, we talk about Vaughn having 100-plus sacks. You talk about Terrell Suggs having 100-plus sacks. Debo doesn't even have 100-plus career sacks. But we view Debo as a better rusher than Cam Jordan. But that's the difference of approach in terms of how he wins. It's not flashy. It's just really technical. It's fundamentally sound, and he knows what his game is. You got some guys that are speed rushers, some guys that are power rushers, some guys that got 1,000 moves. He's one of them dudes that I'm going to rush. I'm long on you. I'm coming off this thing at the last second. I'm making a play. Yeah.
Mine, I just got individual names for this one, actually. Demario Davis. I think he's playing unreal.
I would agree.
Jumped off the screen to me, particularly in that Monday Night Football game. I mean, 2 linebackers did too. And the one on the Ravens side really pissed me off because Roquan Smith looks unreal. Looks like the perfect fit for that Ravens defense. I'm not happy about it.
You know how athletic they are right now with Roquan and Patrick Queen in there, bro? It is stupid.
I'm not happy about it.
Stupid, bro.
Really not. But Demario Davis, his play with the Saints has been unreal ever since going there. He's become this perennial Pro Bowler, All-Pro type of dude, and doesn't look like he's slowing down with age, because he was jumping off the screen to me in Monday Night Football. So, Demario Davis. And I think a huge leader for that defense as well. You can 100%. Tell he gets the dudes going.
He's number 2 on my list as well for likes. Demario Davis for a couple of reasons. Number 1, man, he's been doing this since he was in New York with the Jets. Always been super athletic, rangy, could play the run. He was the cover guy predominantly going back to the Rex Ryan-led Jets when it was Bart Scott, or even when they went to David Harris and Reeves is still out there. Man, he was their cover linebacker. So now when you watch him in New Orleans, same player, but now he's more turned into that leader, the vocal leader, the passionate leader. And you can see they feed off his energy. He is the heartbeat of that defense, of that team, realistically, man. And he can do it all. He can play the run. He can cover. He can blitz. He's just a heck of a player, man. And it's really good to see, even as he's aging, that he still is able to do this thing at a high level. So, yeah, he's the second thing that I like about them, man. Absolutely. All right.
My second thing, Chris Olave.
Shout out to Chris, man. He balling, too. A little 600.
With Michael Thomas's departure, he has become the Saints' number 1. He is a really small frame, but he's fast as hell and can run routes really good.
And he can catch.
And he's Andy Dalton's favorite target. Yeah, he's top.
He can catch, man.
If my counting's right here.
He's
1,
top 10
2,
receiving
3,
yards.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, top 10 in receiving yards in the league right now.
Either 9 or 8. Yeah.
43 receptions, 618 yards, and 2 touchdowns so far. And they don't have too much help outside of him in that receiving room. They got dudes with talent. They got dudes with upside, like Callaway. I kind of like their tight end. Did you know Kevin White is still in the NFL and he's playing on the Saints? He's like their fourth and
Yeah.
fifth receiver.
Yeah, he's not doing anything though, but it's
He's
crazy.
not. It's
yeah,
unbelievable to me. I was thinking about him with the whole Claypool trade too. With just how you draft a receiver, you think it's gonna be a lock that he's gonna be a stud. I mean, he's a perfect example of that. He didn't even give any production. Like there's some receivers, like Sammy Watkins, kind of a disappointment for where he was drafted.
Right,
and what
but
you
he still had a
expected.
couple seasons.
But actually had
he got
a 1,000-yard year. You know, would get maybe 600, 700, 800 yards.
In Buffalo.
Yeah. And it's still like has a role as a third or fourth receiver on teams, whereas Kevin White, he's just doing absolutely nothing.
Kevin White kind of is like when I look at Rashard Perriman, when I think of
Perriman, he still gets it done at times.
Who was the other big dude that was Kelvin Benjamin? Remember him?
See, White never even had seasons like either of those dudes.
Because I'm just like, dang, like what
because Perriman, the one year with Jameis when he had to come in for Godwin and Evans being out, like actually had some really good games. Yeah. Kelvin Benjamin, I think he had 1,000 yards his rookie year.
Yeah, the 1 year in Carolina, but that was it.
Kevin White hasn't even done that though.
Yeah. It's bad, bro.
That's just crazy. But yeah, Chris Olave, it looks like the Saints found a stud in him. He's the second thing I like about their team.
I like it. All right, and the third thing for me, man, is Tyrann Mathieu. When you watch him play, man, he's still Honey Badger. A guy that can create turnovers, whether it's interceptions, whether it's forced fumbles. A dude that has championship pedigree, a guy that is a leader out there defensively, and one of them dudes, man, that I just respect his game, man. You know, at a high level, he's been doing this, and he's, like I said, still a major part of this defense down there, man. So, yeah, he's the number 3 thing for me that I like, that I like about this New Orleans Saints team.
Number 3 for me, Alvin Kamara.
Taysom Hill. Oh,
you know what?
I thought you was gonna go Taysom, bro. You know you're a Taysom guy too, bro. You love you some Taysom Hill.
We're talking about the preview today, right?
Yeah,
we are.
I mean,
he's actually gonna be someone I bring up. We gotta watch for him.
So, yes, we do.
He's actually playing awesome when he gets the ball and gets in the game.
Yes, we do. Yes. He's back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
They got him in his niche. They're not playing around with him like being a starting quarterback. It's like, no, you're going to come in,
be our
for maybe 4 or 5 plays at quarterback. You could pass, you could run, do whatever. He's been making plays. He's been a difference maker in a ton of these Saints games too.
Every single time, bro.
Holy hell. But no, Alvin Kamara, he's a stud. This year, he's on pace for just like a normal Alvin Kamara year. 443 yards rushing.
He's averaging like 4.3.
Yeah, 4.3 yards a carry. Then he's also doing it in the receiving game, and that's what we know Alvin Kamara to be.
Yeah.
319, 36 receptions, 2 touchdowns there. You can see he looks as smooth of a runner as ever. He just glides down there.
Explosive.
Dudes are bouncing off of him. It looks effortless, and good for him.
He's that type of running back I love, bro.
Yeah, he's doing good. Like last year was a little bit of a down year for him.
I love that.
Particularly in the receiving game, but it looks like he's got that uptick back in both facets.
Give me that contact bounce, but I want you light on your feet, man. I want you you had to dance, but you could go. Like, it's beautiful, bro. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. All right. So let's see the 3 things that people in the chat said that they like. Oh, I got to start with Vegas TJG. He said he liked the gumbo, the sweet tea, and Mardi Gras. Boy, salute you. Now, I'm with you 1,000%. Man, that's one of my favorite places to visit. I need to go back to New Orleans, man. Deke, you ever been to New Orleans, man?
I have not.
Bro, the food is amazing. The energy is amazing. It's just fun to be around there, bro.
What's the main drag, or what's like the main street down there? What's it called?
Oh,
is it Bourbon Street?
Yeah, Bourbon Street. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah,
That's
Bourbon
what it's
Street.
called?
Yeah.
I heard it just smells like piss.
At night. But then the crazy thing is this, it literally morphs,
clean
bro.
it up?
No exaggeration. You go out there at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, it's beads, piss, bodily fluids, and a lot of body parts, you know, and music, street, club, like it's a party scene. That's at 3, 4 in the morning. You go to sleep, you come back at 7 a.m., it's completely clean. You would have never known anything. You're looking at these same establishments. You're like, bro, I just saw a person there last night doing some unheavenly things.
I don't know if I want to buy this food.
And now you're up here talking about, hey, man, get you a breakfast combo. And you're like, bruh, I saw what was on that table last night, bruh. You know what I mean? So it's literally like that. It morphs. So, yes, if you're out there during the nighttime hours, it's going to look one way. You come out there doing them daytime hours, oh, it's night and day. So we were like, oh yeah, you could bring your kids down there and still turn up with your folks. Like you know, doing the 8 a.m. to about 8 p.m. Oh, you're good. You can kill it on Bourbon Street, family activities. It's going to be a ball. When that sun go down and they get about 8:30, 9 o'clock, man, put them kids in the house, bro. Don't have them kids out there, bro. Because it's going to get all the way out of pocket. For a fact. But then the next day you good again. So, yeah.
Maybe whenever we got to play the Saints away.
Man, we're going to have to, that's when we're going to have to turn up for, man. All right.
I got LD Big Boss here saying Chris Olave, Mario Davis, and then D-line when healthy.
Okay. Country Malik 48 says Alvin Kamara. Ooh, he went with Lattimore. Shout out to Lattimore and Chris Olave. Yeah, I like that. That's a smooth little trio. I think we got
Rod Dulles, Cam Jordan, Taysom Hill. He's got him in his top 3.
Gotta have Taysom in that top 3,
and he has
baby.
Chris Olave as well.
All right. I like that.
Keon Brown says Olave, Kamara, and utilization of Taysom Hill.
Oh, all right. L_D_Big Boss. Number 1, Chris Olave. Number 2, Demario Davis. Number 3, the D-line when healthy. I like that. Okay.
Country Malik, AK, Alvin Kamara, Lattimore, and Olave. Is Lattimore playing in our game?
I don't know. I'm trying to see if Lattimore's going to play. I'm trying to see if they're still going to roll with Dalton because
they are.
I
just saw the headline.
Well, this is the thing. The headline, even yesterday, I was seeing where Dennis Allen was saying that, nothing's going to be changed, nothing like that. But I don't all the way believe it, bro.
No consideration to benching Andy Dalton, he said.
Bro, do you think that's the truth? You think that's true?
I do. He stuck with them this far.
But it wasn't like he was healthy this whole time in terms of Jameis.
Even when he was, they just rolled with Dalton.
Yeah, until you keep seeing Dalton play bad. That's my thing. I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Tell me I'm wrong about this, but maybe it's Dalton in the Saints unit. I don't know.
Oh, Lord, don't you do that. Nope.
I actually felt like he was slinging it a little bit.
I'm
Dude, he
not
gets
going
that ball
there,
out
man.
quick, throwing some dots.
He gets it out quick, cool.
I'm not, trust me, he's on my dislike list. Trust me. I was just a little bit shocked at the Andy Dalton that I saw.
You know what's going on?
He still turns the ball, or he's still not that amazing, but still.
You know what's going on?
What?
You ain't seeing what you accustomed to seeing here, so now your eyes starting to change. So now you looking at Dalton like,
no.
Is Dalton kind of cute? The Dalton, he actually kind of decent. You already done saw for just stance on Kirk Cousins.
Stop.
What did you say the other day? Hey, man, Kirk is changing my perspective. Okay, now, you are accustomed to seeing 7 play quarterback. 7 had you feeling like Dalton was a terrible quarterback. When we would be like, yo, Dalton's still a Pro Bowl quarterback. Dalton's still a good player. He just not been. He'd be like, oh, no, Dalton ain't like that. Because you was looking at 7. Now you've been looking at Trubisky. You've been looking at Mason. You've been looking at Kenny. And now you over here talking about, hey, bro, Dalton was kind of slinging it. No, you're seeing, you've been looking at something that hasn't been that. And now he's like, oh, this ain't that bad. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just letting you know, bro. That's what you're going through right now. It's normal. But that's what you're going through.
I mean,
all them times you talked about Kirk Cousins, all them times you talked about Ted Hill, all them times you talked about Dalton, it's like, bro, it ain't sweet like that. We've had 7. 7 is very different. That's an outlier.
Never got rid of him.
That's an outlier, bro. Yeah. Now we're like the other ones. We're like everybody else right now. We trying to figure out, do we got a 7 again? Because right now, like, we have just guys. So that's why you look at Dalton like that, bro. Dalton is still Dalton.
He's getting the ball out quick.
My voice, hey, man, I don't know, man. He said, hold on, you looking at Dalton, bro? Dalton been looking good. Hey, man, Dalton, man, I ain't down there. Hey, boy, you better stop.
Trust me, I got him on my dislikes, but the Saints are moving the ball with him at quarterback.
Deke rubbed them glasses like, yo, is that the same? Is that the same Dalton I know? That can't be the Dalton from Cincinnati. No, that ain't that Dalton. No. It's all good,
yeah,
baby.
We were talking about Brady with his arm strength. That's what I felt with Dalton, too. I'm like, wait, is his arm strength a little bit better than what it used to be? He's 35 now, though?
He said, these aren't all back, shoulder, face. What's going on here, man?
I don't like what I'm becoming.
You even talked about
I'm softening up, huh?
Talk about. Shout out to AG, or not AG's. I saw somebody bring up Joe Flacco, Steve Anders. Said, do you think Flacco?
No.
I mean,
get that out of here.
Now, when we played the Jets, you was like, I mean, even with Flacco, it's like, man, the offense still looked the same. He could take shots downfield, man. Whereas if that would have been seven
even worse. He's even worse than Dalton with the ball security, though.
But if it was 7 at quarterback, you would have never even threw that compliment out there to Flacco. That's all we say. You would have never even looked at him and be like, hey, man, he's still doing this well. He could do that. It would have been like, bro, it's Flacco. And you would have left it at that. You were even like complimenting him. So you're right, man.
Where's my edge? I become soft.
Oh my gosh. That boy say, yo, Andy Dalton, man. He all right.
I'm not liking this version of Deke.
But you're becoming self-aware. And that's the start, you know? You got to get self-aware, and then you can, start to readjust. You're good, bro.
Self-aware about what?
That, we're just in a different phase right now, quarterback-wise. It'll come back, and then we'll get back to looking at Dalton like Dalton, okay? And all these other guys appropriately. Yeah. I'm with you, man.
There's humor in what you're saying. It's making me chuckle a little bit on the inside, but it's actually pissing me off more because, like,
I'm with you.
I want Ben back.
I know. I can understand.
Dude, how about this?
I can understand it, bro.
How about this? Was talking to Cleveland fan over the weekend. Lifelong Cleveland fan. I'd say he knows football. He watches every game and stuff on the weekends. Not just Cleveland, but around the league. He bets a lot and everything. Right. He knows the AFC North. He knows the Steelers. He knows that rivalry. He knows Ben Roethlisberger. He said it himself. He's I thought Ben could have played 2 more years. That's from a Browns fan.
I could understand it.
It's a shame Steeler fans couldn't feel the same way.
Their
own quarterback.
That's how it goes sometimes, man.
Their own quarterback. They couldn't appreciate him like a Browns fan appreciated Ben Stalin. And
you know how it goes, man.
Said he could play 2 more years. It's a damn shame.
It's kind of like all them people out there that are like, man, how could Brady choose football over Giselle? Giselle is Giselle, man. He should love her.
Dude, he's going to
go
for like 2 or 3 more years, I'm telling you. He's going to go play for the 49ers.
I can see it, man. But he's just making a decision that, he feels like it's best for him. So in Pittsburgh, yes, a Browns fan is probably looking at Ben like he's Giselle. Man, how could you not choose Giselle? How could you not choose 7 for an extra year, too? But in Pittsburgh, it was a little different. We don't know what's going on. So we don't know what's going on with Brady and Giselle. Maybe he's like, you know what? She can't cook. Yeah. Maybe that's what it was. She can't cook, and for 7, it was, yeah.
Apparently there's some new information about the Brady divorce that this was probably like a year in the works.
How fast
she got her own place in February. She was already starting to, like, do her own thing. Yeah. So maybe it's not as deep right now. Like, Brady already knew it was coming a while ago.
Because definitely, the perception initially was that it was just happening now, but it was like no way you could have a divorce finalized that quick. You have to be separated for a year at least. So
maybe the people feeling bad for Brady saying he gave up his family for football, man, it's probably not the case.
But how many times do we see that anytime when we're talking about like just reactions, the information when it first come out versus when we get more and more details and facts? It happens.
Where are we at now?
We are on to dislikes now. 3 things that you don't like about this Saints team. Drop that in the chat as well. For me, man, I'll start out with their offensive line's pass protection. I think it gets real leaky at times, man. Obviously, the Baltimore Ravens were able to have a lot of success, Justin Houston specifically. And typically, if we didn't have TJ, I'd be like, well, maybe we don't have a Justin Houston type. But we actually do have that type of player, man. And more importantly, when TJ is back out there, that also opens it up for Alex Highsmith, who can also win his one-on-ones. When you talk about the Saints, though, in terms of their pass protection and more importantly their quarterbacks, both of these dudes, whether it was Jameis or Dalton, have been sacked a good amount of times. I think Dalton has been 11 times, and for Jameis it was like 8, I think it was. For me, when you watch them, man, I just don't feel like they're going to be able to protect in the manner that they need to, and that's part of the reason why Dalton has been getting it out faster, because you don't have the time to sit back there, and that probably is helping Dalton a little bit more than hurting him. He can't, make too many bad decisions that way.
Right. Once you start getting some pressure on him, he misses his first read. It's down the shitter for sure. But when he does get out the ball quick, it ain't looking bad. That's what I'm saying. The ball's moving, the offense is moving.
So like I said, it might be good and bad for Dalton, man. It's helping him, but it's hurting him too. But yeah, I had to start up with the offensive line, their pass protection, man. I just feel like for us, that should be a key area that we'll be able to, really have a nice matchup for us there.
Okay. Well, since we're on the topic of Andy Dalton, I have Andy Dalton on there. Even though I was
complimentary of him.
Kind of, yeah, complimentary.
No, you weren't kind of. You were, man. You loved him.
I'd say it's more of a backhanded compliment because, well, there's a few things at play here. We know him versus the Steelers is typically not a good thing.
Yeah.
And that's going back to his Bengals days.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if he's with the Saints or what team he's on. I don't believe it because I never really seen him do anything against the Steelers like that.
Right.
And now we got our full arsenal on defense.
But are you concerned about the stat where I think it was like Coach Tomlin has never beaten the Saints?
I did see that.
Yeah. Are you concerned about that?
No. Because Saints, we haven't played them that often. That's the thing. So he's 0-3. I'm trying to think of those games. One was in like 07 or 08, I think.
So we had one in Pittsburgh.
We had one on 14. The road, probably in like
14 Pittsburgh.
11 or 12. It was like a Sunday night football game.
And then was that 18 or 19 with Joe? Remember and Juju and them? Rosie with the fake.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that was 3 times that we can in the last like 20
That's
years.
He's 0-3. Yeah. Right, we should have beat the Saints on the road.
Yeah, shoot, we should have beat them when we had them here. In 14, we should have had them. We felt like we should have had them. Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. We just don't play them that often.
For sure.
And that Saints team was different than those Saints teams were different than this Saints team because that had Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
Much better even leadership too. They had Sean Payton as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really not concerned about that.
Sure.
I think we'll be fine. I think our defense, now in particular with Andy Dalton, I don't think he's going to be able to do too much against this defense because it goes back to what I was saying. Olave is really only his main guy on offense. Stop the run with Kamara and get some pass rush on Dalton. He's going to be flustered back there. It's just like a typical Steelers versus Dalton game. That's what I'm expecting coming up.
It should. It definitely should. And that's why I'm like, as long as they keep Dalton out there, I love it even more so, man. I don't know.
But even with, and here's going back to some of the compliments, even with some of the things he's doing with the Saints that kind of look good, he still resorts back to some Dalton things, like throwing some really bad interceptions and stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think that's going away. Can we just catch him?
That's the thing.
Can we get Casey to catch one? Yeah. That'd be kind of nice.
I would agree.
First game as a Steeler?
I would agree. Which goes right into the second thing that I don't like. QB play is very limited, man, and that's with any of these dudes, man. With Dalton, I think that it's limited, but granted, what you talk about in the sense of he cuts down on the turnovers, but it's not necessarily a good thing. He gets the ball out quick, but it's not to the extent where it's threatening or you're getting a ton of run after either. Outside of Chris Olave, is really not a lot that they do.
Their tight end's not bad,
but when in the sense of how they're utilizing him, he's not in the sense that you're worried about them featuring him like a Travis Kelce or even how we want to feature like a Freiermuth. To me, their most explosive plays do happen when Taysom Hill is out there. It's like that type of dynamic. And then when Jameis is out there, you have the ball security concerns. Now, it's not terrible, but that's still something that has been a knock on him. But for me, man, the QB play, I'm not a fan of it. And I think that it has been limiting them in their offense this year, man.
Okay, I'm just going to do the opposite of one of the things that I said I liked. I said Chris Olave, so I'm going to say for things I don't like, the receivers outside of Chris Olave. Michael Thomas, just continuing to rob the Saints after that big contract that he took.
Bro, he got the bag. It was like, I'm going to holler at y'all.
I did some research on this.
He got
how many games do you think he's played over the last 3 years?
Is it 7 or 10? I'm going 7.
You're right on your second guess, 10.
10?
Over the last 3 years.
Yeah. I knew it was something
2022,
like crazy small,
2021,
and
2020. That's an average of 3 games per season.
Nuts, bro.
He's getting paid $25 million per year.
Nuts. Yes.
I mean, with him in the fold, you'd have Olave, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and like a Marquez Callaway as your fourth guy, or Tre'Quan Smith.
And then you got
that wouldn't be as bad
in your running game. Like, that's a dope situation right there.
Not as bad, but whenever you're telling me you got Chris Olave as your 1, Jarvis Landry as your 2, I think Jarvis Landry's always been overrated. But then Tre'Quan Smith, Marquez Callaway, talented guys, but they really haven't lived up to their potential or hype that a lot of people think they would have going into these respective NFL seasons the last couple years. And then Kevin White's their fifth guy. Come on, man. Yeah, they just don't have guys across the board that you can really trust.
Yeah.
At the receiver position outside of Olave.
Very true, very true. And that kind of goes into my third thing, man. I didn't specifically talk about their receivers and stuff like that, but for me, I just think their offense lacks consistency as well. Part of that is due to the health of that position group. No Michael Thomas, that's a big piece. Jarvis Landry in and out of the lineup, that's another piece that they were leaning on. When we talk about the quarterback play, when you're switching quarterbacks, when you're not getting consistent play at that position, it shows offensively. Some of the things that they deal with, we deal with. It's just, they're a little bit further along with some of their veteran players than we are. And in particular at the quarterback position, they just have a veteran guy, whether it's Dalton or Jameis. But the consistency across the board, it just isn't what you would typically expect to see when you're watching the Saints play. And that's a part of why their record is what it is, and why when we're looking at this team and we feel as optimistic as we do, it is because of that lack of consistency, man. It opens up a lot of doors. Their lack of consistency when you're talking about ball security, whether you're talking about explosive plays, whether you're talking about trying to run the ball consistently, it's a lot of just up and down with them. And yeah, man, it's something that we should be feeling good about, man. We should.
I got a few things here. Maybe I'll save a couple for whenever we do the preview.
Yeah.
I'll keep it simple. No Sean Payton. Like, even without Drew Brees last year.
That's a big difference, man.
They went 9-8.
That'd be the difference of, like, us doing the Duck Mason season with Coach T versus without Coach T. It matters, man. You need that guy. It matters.
Right. 3-6 with Dennis Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's coincidence. Sean Payton is a Hall of Fame coach, and just doesn't feel like their team's the same. That aura around them is the same. I don't know if I'm reaching just because they have a losing record this year and stuff, but nah, man. I mean, Sean Payton would have a job in the snap of a finger if he decided to come back to the NFL, which I'm assuming he probably will in the next year too.
How does it work with the Saints? Because don't they still have like a year on the contract or something? I thought it was something where if he came back, he would have to go. It would be
you got to do a trade or something.
Yeah,
that's probably what would have to happen. It's not like it hasn't happened before.
No, I mean, it's happened
coach
a couple
trades
times
and stuff
now,
like that. But yeah, I'll keep it simple. I'll save some of the other stuff whenever we dig a little bit deeper into the Steelers Saints.
All right. So let's see a couple of the dislikes that we did see. Rod Dollar says the offensive line, pass/run blocking. Number 2, he said their tight ends. And number 3, their running game. Jorge Rico dislikes Andy Dalton, Dalton Andy, and Andres Dalton.
The Red Rifle.
Golly, I love it. All right,
I got some breaking news here, dude.
Oh, yeah, I saw it as well, man. Yeah.
Steelers signed Matthew Wright. He's back.
He's back, man, to the active as well. Boz has been dealing with the groin injury. So, yeah, I did see that. That happened a little while ago, man.
Because I think Matthew Wright's a really good kicker.
Oh, he is. He's a good kicker.
Like, if we're going to have a dude outside of Boz, that's the guy I want.
Okay.
Like, that was the first guy I thought of whenever they were saying Boz was dealing with an injury like a couple weeks ago. But we got Skiba. So that was the whole saga today.
Yeah.
Cut Skiba. And everyone's thinking, oh, Boz is good now.
Yeah.
Because we cut him. But no, we just signed Matthew Wright. The only reason we cut Skiba is because we saw Money Matthew. Money Matt Wright.
You going to give him the name.
He was money for us. You know what? Skiba was money for us. No, he kicked that one out of bounds, actually.
We're talking.
He hit all of his field goals, though.
What matters more, the field goals or the kickoff afterwards? We need to score the points.
And Skiba was good.
Yeah,
Matthew Wright was good for us, though, too.
Man.
I liked what he did. What was that, 2 or 3 years ago when he stepped in?
Nah, Matthew Wright, cool. It's different. We're used to Boz.
I know. I don't know if he has Boz's leg. He bombed that one last year with Jacksonville, right? It wasn't like a 50. It was a long 50.
That's all I'm saying, man.
Game winner. Yeah.
We're not taking anything away from Matt Wright, but we're used to Boz. If Matthew
I'm
Wright
with you. I want
Boz, then yeah, that's all.
I want Boz.
I do like it though. I do like it.
Yeah, if we're not gonna have Boz, he's my first pick. Absolutely my first pick. Why am I like weirdly pumped about this?
That's what I'm trying to figure. I'm like, I mean, it's cool.
He was clutch for us that one time. Was it 2 games? 1 game? I can't remember.
Hey man, your memory a little different than mine when it comes to.
He was 100%. He was 100% from the field. That's what I remember.
Yeah, but we're gonna need Boz in this growing situation to get situated, man, because there is a difference. What Boz brings to the table in terms of the consistency, in terms of the comfort, when you're talking 40 plus, 50 plus, the ability to hit those at a higher clip, the ability to just make your offense feel like we can settle for 40-something yard field goals and that still be a high percentage decision. That's the part where it's like, man, with Matt Wright, I don't know, if we're feeling like that decision-wise on game days.
So far this year, he is 3 for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Field goals made, field goals attempted.
Yeah. Distance is what matters, right?
100% on extra points made and extra point attempted.
Good.
So not bad. Last year, 21 to 24 with Jacksonville.
Field goals, though? Not extra points, field goals.
What do you mean?
Because, extra points is like the ones that kick from the 2-yard line. Field goals, I want to see 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards. That's what I'm talking
50
about.
plus, he's 101.
Okay.
He missed 40-49.
Okay.
Yeah, field goal attempt 2, field goal made 1.
Okay.
100% from
the career, right?
No, just this year.
This year, what's the career looking like?
Career?
Mm-hmm.
He's
he was
5
AZ,
for 7.
He was in AZ and obviously in Pittsburgh with us. So yeah.
He's 5 for 7 on 50 plus yarders, 6 for 8 on 40 to 49, and then 100%, 39 and in.
All right.
So I mean, 87.5%.
Keep it going, man. Let's keep it going then, baby.
Like I said, I'd rather have Boz, but the one guy that I would want us to sign immediately if Boz goes down or has an injury would be Matthew Wright.
All right. Well, let's get it then.
I don't know why I have the fond memories of him whenever he kicked for us.
I like it then, man.
He was 100%.
I like it then, man.
2 for 2, 40 out of 49.
All right.
4 for 4 total back in 2020 when he was with the Steelers.
Let's get it then,
that was some breaking news for you, though.
Shout out. Nah, man. But, so hopefully Matt Wright can continue on making field goals. That way Deke can continue being fond of him. And then hopefully Boz can get back sooner rather than later, man. Yeah.
Sure.
That's
what else we got
with
here?
that growing. That is interesting.
Yeah, that's a big deal for a kicker.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal. And we had the bye, so you would have thought things would be a little bit more right.
Right.
Up to this point, but I guess Boz is still dealing with it. More supers here?
Yeah. Man, I'm just thinking about this growing situation now. I'm like, bro. Because he popped up he was on the injury report earlier this season with the groin. That's what we had brought in, what was the Eagles game?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't play in the Eagles game.
Right. We were dealing with some punter stuff with Harvin. Remember we signed Barry, but then Harvin ended up being good to go, so that didn't matter.
Man, not really feeling that. All right. Let's see what's 11:08. Got a couple super. All right,
Child of the Corn has joined the upper room.
Shout out to Child of the Corn and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. That is our movie critic over there that, constantly reminds Deke that he hasn't seen all the classics. All the classics. And he always reminds me of all the movies that I love to see. So shout out to Child of the Corn.
Mike Hood, appreciate you guys. Moats has helped me to stop whining and gain a player's perspective. Peace to all.
Oh, man, salute you. No, I greatly appreciate you as well, man. Just trying to give a little perspective to help us all through these rough and non-cool times, man. Context matters, and I'm hoping that that'll help us just another day make it through this thing, man.
Steely Dawn, what's a player's mentality after coming back from injury like Watts? Hesitant in the back of the mind? Or just going all out, not thinking about it? No worry.
Well, you got, two types of people. Some of the people are the crazy. They're not going to think about it. They're just going to go completely 100% out there. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it does not work, in the sense of re-injuring because, you do need to kind of figure out what you are fully capable of and what you're not, because regardless of how significant or minor an injury is, you're always going to have some type of residual. And you just have to figure out what alterations you have to make to your game and how significant they have to be. The other element is a little bit more on the hesitation side because you are thinking about it in the back of your mind. I know me specifically, the injury I always think of was the first one I had at the NFL level. I dislocated my elbow. I remember having a bye week, sitting out a game, and then coming back 3 weeks later and playing. And I'm saying to myself as I'm out there, I can't bend my arm 90 degrees. Like I couldn't do this. So as I'm in this brace, Yeah, it was times where I would have to think about it. So it wasn't in the back of my mind, it was in the front of my mind. I would switch sides so I could protect that arm. And when it was time to tackle, I would do certain things to protect it. So, yeah, you think about it, but as you continue to play with it and you do certain things, you start to build more confidence in it. It starts to hurt a little bit less, or you become more numb to the pain. And from there, then you start getting your game back to what it was, what it, should be, or what you're accustomed to doing. Now, some people can do that within 2 plays. Some people, it takes 3 weeks. Some people might take a season. We talk about how Devin Bush coming back from the ACL and how he was playing, how he was reacting versus where he's at now. But then you look at Adrian Peterson and how he came back from ACL and how he just hopped right into this thing, had one of the best seasons for a running back, period. So, like I said, it's multifaceted in the sense of you can take either approach. I personally like the more cautious side of it because I was big in the sense that I didn't want to re-injure it. And I feel like you have to test it out slowly and gradually so that way you're doing it at the best, way where you're not going to have a high risk for injury, but you're still able to play at a high level versus just coming out there and thinking that, oh, man, I set out this long. I feel good today. Let me just go out here and play to the, balls to the wall, so to speak. And now you do something where you compromise yourself. So, yeah. But TJ's TJ, man. And in the words of Coach Tomlin, don't expect TJ to be normal. TJ is not normal, man. So, yeah, I think TJ can go out there and be great, period.
If it wasn't for that little knee scope thing,
period, man.
He should have been back like week 6 or 7.
So, we will see what it looks like. I expect him to go out there and have 7 sacks.
Let's go, UW. Can't wait for Germany to get to see the best QB in the NFL go against Tom Brady this weekend. For those of you that don't know, it is Seattle versus the Buccaneers as the Germany matchup. They wrote him off,
but he ain't right back, though.
I'm looking at these stats right now. He legit does have a case for MVP
He's
if
balling,
he keeps
bro.
this going.
He's balling.
I would say his only competitor is Mahomes.
He's balling.
Mahomes probably has the edge because he's got like 500 more passing yards and 21 touchdowns compared to Geno's 15.
Yeah.
But Geno does have the best completion percentage in the NFL amongst eligible quarterbacks. 73.1.
He's winning.
Across the board, statistically, he is a top 5 quarterback this season. I mean, I'm still taking like Mahomes or Josh Allen or Herbert.
Are you taking Russ over Geno? Let's revisit it. Are you taking Russ or are you taking Geno this season going forward? Who you rolling with? Broncos Nation, let's ride. Or is it, they rolled me off, but I ain't right back, though. I ain't right back. Which one we going with, baby?
Wow.
Who would have thought that this would still be a legitimate question?
When's the clock going to strike midnight for Geno?
Who we going with, baby? Who we going with?
I don't know if it's going to, though.
Who we going with, baby? You going with Geno or you going with Russ? Rest of the year.
I feel like the answer is obvious.
You love your quarterbacks, though. Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
It's tough.
It factor quarterbacks.
I saw some it factor from Geno. Well, particularly, I watched the Saints game against the Seahawks. Some of the throws he was making were
he had some dots.
Insane. Yeah. Moving around in the pocket, too. Escaping.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess.
But Russ, you done seen Russ. He didn't made special plays while you watched them, and he made special plays against your squad while you watched them. You know? You seen it, man.
Russ. I don't know too many plays in particular he was making against us.
Man, you seen Deke on Edmonds. Come on, Ben. Don't act like you forgot that.
Nah, he's just lucky Ben went down with that injury in 2019.
You seen that scramble you seen that scramble on third
when Ben went down.
Comeback game. That's what I'm saying. You saw that 3rd and 16 scramble right down the middle of the field. Remember that? You remember that. That's Russ. You know Russ. You know Russ real well.
I think you got to roll with Geno rest of the year.
Russ in Seattle? Think about Russ in Seattle when we went up there. Remember that one? Who did he hit? Was that Baldwin? Doug Baldwin? You remember what Russ did with us, Doug Baldwin? Remember that one? Russ didn't cook. He just scraped the pot.
I remember Richard Sherman having some pass interference on AB.
I would agree. But Russ be scraping the pot every once in a while.
Didn't Big Ben throw for like 400 that game?
Yeah, that was the Wheaton game. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And the fake field goal interception.
Oh, my God.
Landry throwing it to Al.
Oh, yeah, that's the shit I hate.
That was that game, bro. Yeah.
For whatever reason, though, some of our trick plays as of late have been working. So that has shut me up. But I'm still, from the standpoint, if you're going to throw the ball or do some type of trick creation, go for it on 4th.
Oh, my God. gosh.
Do it with your Hall of Fame quarterback and Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Or tape everything made sense until they lined up and it was no longer making sense, bro. Yep.
We did it against the Browns and got Boz knocked out of the game last year.
Knocked out. Yes, bro.
He was open. Didn't Boz just wait too long to throw it?
He was just like patting the ball. You're like, throw it. He got smashed. Yeah, man.
12th wonder. Good morning, my dudes. Just hopped in.
Top of the morning.
About to mash the like button and rewind.
Hey, salute, man. We greatly appreciate you hitting that like button and rewinding it for the culture as well, man. So do like 12th Wonder does, man. Hit that like button if you have not done so, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done that either. But we greatly appreciate you for both.
He says, I like our healthy defense for Dalton. Don't like the offense without Chase. Sims will be fine.
Well, I'm hoping that it's going to open up more for Pat Freiermuth as well. That's what I'm hoping no Chase does. So either way, this could be a positive for our offense, man. But we will see. Obviously, this is all speculation until they actually get out there. But, yeah, we're excited, though, man.
Ethan Bull has a theory on Geno. Says, I feel like Geno is going through his Tannehill phase that he went through first coming to the Titans.
Okay.
Then he says, I hope it lasts, though, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you think Tannehill had all the success until Derrick Henry went down, and then they had to have him open up and throw a little bit more, and he still was doing it good. It just, that's not his game. He is his best when he's able to have a steady running game and can throw off of the play action pass because he has a big arm. He's accurate downfield, and that's what made them so unique. Now, he's hurt, so that kind of plays into it. And with Derrick Henry, still was coming back, so that played into it. But yeah, with Geno, you look at the Seahawks, they can run the ball. Kenneth Walker, man, he's doing his thing on the ground. That keeps them on schedule. It keeps it third and manageable. And when they throw off of the play action pass, he has a DK Metcalf that can go get it. He has a Tyler Lockett that can go get it. I forgot the tight end that's over there right now, too. It's not Disley. I forgot the tight end that's out there.
I got nothing for you.
Yeah, I was like, yo, is it Disley? It's not Will Disley. I don't think it is. It low-key might
Are we
be.
talking about Fant? Has he been in and out? He's always hurt. Has he been hurt this year?
Who, Noah?
Fant. I think I've seen him catch some balls, right?
I don't remember off the top of my head right now. That's the thing. I was like,
I mean, he would be their number one tight end.
right.
Yeah. He's been playing. He just had 96 yards last game.
Okay, well, there we go. But I know it was one of them tight ends. Yeah.
272 on the season, so nothing crazy.
There it is. No offense. I was like, yo, it was tight end over there. I was like, no, it was tight end over there. Yeah, there we go. No offense. So, they got everything he needs, man. And shout out to the chat. I see you, Country Malik 48. I see you, Nathan Woods. I greatly appreciate y'all, baby. That's the teamwork right there, baby. Make the dream work. Teamwork make the dream work. All right, question.
12 minutes.
12 minutes. Then we can knock a preview out in 12?
It's up to you. I'm good with whatever, man.
Because otherwise we'll be putting ourselves in that box potentially. Let's go ahead.
Do you want to let the chat know?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can let them know. So the question is this, man. Show-wise, we don't know if they're going to be a show on Friday. No show tomorrow. Moats, he got to travel, so I got to go take care of some business. You know what I'm saying? So I'm be gone. But we don't know if we're going to do the show on Friday or not, just because I don't know what time I'm getting back. So we're trying to decide, do we want to go on in full preview this Saints-Steelers matchup and give our predictions today, or potentially leave it on the table, and if I make it back in time, we do our show on Friday and we do the predictions there. Catch my drift.
Yeah, but then if we don't do Friday, we got no predictions or no just final statements on the game, I guess.
Yeah. It would seem a little bit incomplete, huh?
If we don't do Friday, the only thing we're missing is picks. But, I mean, we could potentially do that through text or something. Or even, I'm going to see you Saturday. So.
Yeah, I am going to see you. High five,
so we could do we could maybe do our picks.
That was so awkward. I don't know why I did like that. That was super awkward, bro. That was weird. Yo, just erase that. I don't know. Y'all did not see that. That was terrible. Bro. I can't let that slide. That was bad, bro. It was bad.
It's all good, man.
I even felt awkward midway. I'm like, yo, what am I doing? That is not cool.
High-fiving on seeing each other.
Yeah, bro. That was weird. I'm sorry about that.
You're excited?
The party foul for Moats. All right, party foul. I promise. That was weird. All right.
Yeah, because I didn't really give a good effort on that. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
You were here. It was awkward. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it today, man, just to play it safe. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, because we could do it. We could do our picks on Saturday.
Yeah, let's do that then, man.
Let's exchange like, bro, what do you think about this game? And then we could at least get the post out if we miss Friday.
Correct. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that, man. Let's tap in today. Yeah, I still can't believe that was on camera. I am very just.
I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, I feel real bad about myself right now. My morale is down slightly.
I wouldn't get it up. We need some good takes for this preview.
But as we do transition. And welcome to the real world. You don't need to keep rewinding that. We know how awkward that was. We don't need to rewind that anymore. That was weird. Rod Dawson was slap hands. Yep, that's what it felt like. Yep, yeah, not the good look. I've had better moments in my life. That was not my finest moment. Yes, you're correct. And unfortunately, we're on tape with my non-finest moment. All right.
Wait, I don't get any blame for that? I'll take no blame. That's fine.
I feel bad because I initiated it.
Yeah.
If you would have initiated it,
I would have never initiated it.
Right.
Yeah,
I was just like, why did I don't know. I do not know, man. I do not know, bro. I was just in the moment. I was like, yeah, we're linking up. Yeah, team. Weird. Not the move, man. So, yes. With this particular matchup, though, man, there's multiple reasons to feel good about it. Number one, for us defensively, man, we're getting healthy. Love the fact that we're getting back healthy because we're the place that we're getting healthy at will be our strengths versus their weaknesses, man. When you're talking about our pass rush, when you talk about TJ Watt in particular versus their offensive line, they have been struggling to protect. We talked about the sack numbers for both Dalton and Winston. They are forced to kind of get rid of the ball faster or go to some of their gadgety stuff to generate some of the downfield action. But having a TJ back out there will be a big factor in that. And I think that continues to create that hostile environment. And we know when it comes to Andy Dalton, he doesn't handle pressure well. He doesn't handle being sped up well. That's one of the things that when we played him all the time when he was in Cincy, we would come in this thing with blitz packages because we knew, man, we're going to confuse him on the back end because when it's happening fast, he can't process it that way. He's just not that caliber quarterback. And a lot of guys aren't. And that's why we talk about pressure being so significant. But when you're adding TJ, that's huge. But when you also talk about on the back end, DeMonte Casey, healthy, coming back. That's also huge because this is another guy that can create splash plays. And when you're getting a quarterback that's going to be sped up, that doesn't make the best decisions while he's playing faster than he's accustomed to, and you multiply that with guys on the back end that are healthy that can create those plays, that's the situation that we need. That's how you create splash plays. That's how you get this offense that is still figuring themselves out. They're improving, but they're still figuring it out. How do you help them? Get them more possessions. Get them short fields. I don't want them to have to keep going 10, 12, 15 plays to score a touchdown. Man, you get them that ball on the 30-yard line, short field, 3 plays, touchdown. That's a confidence booster. That makes you feel good about yourself. That makes the quarterback believe it. That makes the coordinator believe. That makes the receivers believe. That makes us as fans feel like we can score. Versus you always having to drive the length of the field. And now when it gets to the end of the drive, yeah, the execution isn't there where it needs to be, but guys are a little bit more fatigued. Defenses have made adjustments. A lot can happen with that. So I do feel like this is going to be a huge asset for us. Some of the things that I think that we're going to have to, I want it to be improved, but I'm still a little skeptical, is our rushing attack this week. Because that is something that they are violent against, man. You talk about Demario Davis, man. He helps them out a lot. Their front, in terms of how they play defense, man, they keep him clean. He is able to roam and make those type of plays. But when they're able to make offenses one-dimensional, that's when they're at their best because they are definitely geared up to rush the passer and play pass defense. That's what they're designed for. But we got to find a way to get them out of that. And it's really going to depend on how committed we want to be to the running game. If we really commit to it, we can have success. Baltimore has success, but granted, Baltimore, you understand the style of running attack that they operate with in terms of the formation, the scheme itself. But regardless of that, this is a Saints unit where their defense, yes, they are really good. Yes, they have players, but it is one that we still should be able to move the ball on and have success on as well. So I'm definitely liking both of those elements for this particular matchup right now.
That's what I'm thinking about their defense, dude. Like, the stats say their pass coverage is pretty solid. They're only giving up like 200 yards per game. But there have been times quarterbacks have taken advantage of their secondary. Yeah. And my eye test is telling me they're not that amazing. I've seen too many quarterbacks hit guys, where it's
Bro,
just bad
Geno
coverage on the
was
Saints.
Geno
Particularly
was carving them up.
Well, yeah, and particularly now them not having Marcus Lattimore, or Marshawn Lattimore. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then their run game, again, is kind of like you mentioned. Teams have had a lot of success, and I'd say between the two, between their pass defense and rush defense, that's their weakest part. Our run game just sucks, though. That's the unfortunate thing, because there's a ton of teams that have had success against the Saints running the ball, but a lot of it has been teams that run the ball very successfully and just have good running games.
And they're more committed to it as well. We talked about part of the reason why our running game isn't as good is we don't commit to it on that level. If we commit to it, I do think we can have a lot of success running against them, but I just don't know if we're going to commit to it or not.
Like, even the Bengals, they didn't really commit against the Saints, but they were averaging like 5 yards a carry. It was more of like a Burrow game, but man, it just makes me think, like, Saints are cool. Like, they're a good team. Yeah, they got the pedigree and everything. They got some of the players, but man, I just really don't think they're like all that amazing. Maybe that's why their record's 3-6. But it's not one of those teams where you could lay down for it. I know it's the NFL. You're not doing that for any team, but I feel like they're also solid. There's this weird Jekyll and Hyde thing I feel about the Saints. Like, I feel like they could play with anyone. They could beat any team.
They're just like the Pittsburgh Steelers in the sense that they have talent. They're inconsistent.
Pretty good
the
point,
difference
actually.
is this.
Pretty good
to
point.
me, they have just slightly more veteran players at certain positions. When we talk about Naji versus Kamara, Naji's averaging 3.3. Kamara's averaging 4.3. Keeps them on schedule. When you talk about Dalton or Jameis versus Mitch and Pickett, those guys are more veteran. Those guys have had higher ceilings, right, in terms of Pro Bowls, have already led teams, have been guys other places, just more mature there. You talk about their number one receiver, Olave, 600 receiving yards. We talk about our number one receiver, Deontay, 300 receiving yards. We talk about our offensive line versus their offensive line. They're just slightly better in those areas. Our defense versus their defense. Our Miles Jack is their Demario Davis. Think about it. Our Minka Fitzpatrick is their Tyrann Mathieu.
I feel like our defense is, if you want to talk about their offense maybe being slightly better. Yeah, right.
When healthy, though. That's it, because they have the Cam Jordan, we have a TJ Watt. When healthy, that's the one, right?
But then we also have like a Cam Hayward, we got a Highsmith.
Yeah. So it's like we have, it's, like I said, the same team. It's just they're slightly better or slightly more mature in other areas than we are right now. And then we've obviously had the injuries just the injuries on defense that have really hurt us at times in terms of not being able to consistently rely on what we want to rely on. If they lost to Cam Jordan, it would reflect. If they didn't have a Demario Davis, it would reflect. If Tyrann Mathieu was struggling, it will reflect. So we talk about Marshawn Lattimore not being out there, it shows. So to me, we are very much identical, and that's why we feel as good as we feel. But it's funny, if you listen to Saints radio, if you look on Saints blogs, they're saying the same thing in terms of why they're excited about this matchup, because they're like, hey,
they shouldn't be.
This is a team that's struggling. This is a team that doesn't do this. TJ's coming back, but how rusty is he going to be? What is it going to look like? Is he really healthy? So they're saying those similar things. They're looking at our quarterback and saying, hey, man, he's got some things, man. He got a nice little pass, but he's turning the ball over. Their offense kind of limited. They got good players. So the parallels are there for both of us, but that's why if you're a Steelers fan, we feel really good about this. And rightfully so. And that's why I like us a lot in this matchup, man. So
well, I was going to say, I guess one more thing, because we're getting on time here, 11:28. One more thing, though. In terms of difference between the teams, though, we do better with the turnovers. Well, I know we're turning the ball over on offense, but at least we're getting some takeaways on defense.
Yes.
Yeah, with the interception stuff. Saints have the worst turnover differential in the league. They throw the picks, fumble the ball on offense and everything, but they can't take away the ball on defense. They do got a few forced fumbles, but then they only have 2 picks on the season. So that's not a good formula for them. Yeah. Coming into Pittsburgh, defense should be riled up here. We got to be able to get 1 or 2 from Dalton. We have to.
He's put it like this. The same way we said versus Tua, he will give you opportunities. It's going to be on us to capitalize. If we capitalize on these opportunities, everything will be fine. We will be enjoying ourselves on Sunday. If we don't capitalize on them and we allow them to extend drives because we don't catch the ones that he throws to us, we're going to be in here on Monday pissed off talking about woulda, coulda, and shoulda and who we should be firing and this and that, But this is one of those ones that we should take care of business, and we have to take care of business, man. We have to, man.
That's what Thomas said. Put up or shut up.
Absolutely, man. So with that being said, let's drop these score predictions. Let's do it. Drop it in the chat as well, man. We're going to get up out of here in like 2.5 minutes. All right. So, yeah, drop in the chat your score predictions for this week.
I'll read this super chat real quick, too. 12th Wonder. Do it on Friday. I'll fill in for Moats if you don't make it back on time.
Just taking my spot, man. Dang.
People are talking about that, the high five or whatever. It was due to your shirt, Cowboy shirt.
Oh, y'all got to chill, man.
Got you doing that type of stuff.
Don't try to do that, man. Don't try to do that. Y'all know Prime is swaggy. Prime would never do anything non-player like that, all right? So that was a party foul on me, all right? We'll just leave it at that. I take sole responsibility for my actions in that interaction right there. That was just piss poor. That was not varsity whatsoever. That was not varsity by me, man.
I'm going to keep this simple. Steelers outplay the Saints. Steelers are at home. Pickett lights it up. First game coming off this bye. I feel like he corrected some stuff throughout these weeks off. Got the offense as a unit coming together. They're studying together.
Let's get it.
They're seeing things, and they're going to be able to look at it on the field, call some audibles, call some hot routes. Everyone's on the same page. I think Pickett throws for 3.
Ooh.
I think he throws for 3.
3 Bills or 3 tutties?
3 tutties.
Oh, okay. I was like 3 Bills.
3 tutties. Oof. Yep.
All right.
I think we convert in the red zone. I don't know if his yards got to be anything crazy.
Right.
210, 220, whatnot. But I think defense gets us a turnover, too, gives Pickett a short field, and we convert. But also, we're able to sustain some drives on offense. And also, we're going to score in the red zone, too. Because I'm telling you, I think this bye is going to be a good thing for a lot of reasons. Defense getting healthy, but I think the offense is going to get a lot more in sync.
I like it.
Final score?
I like it. Let's get it. Talk to him, Deke. Talk to him.
Steelers 28. Saints 13.
Oh, okay. Convincing.
It is. It's going to be a convincing one. This is going to be the statement the Steelers make to the rest of the league that, hey, a second half streak's coming.
All right.
We're about to go on a run.
All right. I like it. Well, for me, I think that this is definitely going to be a tighter matchup because we are very similar in approach. We do some really good things that I think we're going to be able to exploit from them, and they're going to do some things that are going to be able to exploit some stuff for us. I think we will be able to move the ball. I think that we will be more efficient in the red zone. I think Kenny plays better, and I do feel like he's going to throw for multiple touchdowns, but I don't have him, throwing for anything crazy. I like his stat line. If I could see him 2 tutties, about $170 passing yards, $180, but no picks.
Like 30 on the ground, maybe.
Like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, no picks, just keep it clean. That's what I'm looking for from him, man. But I think that we will be able to take care of business in this game, man. I have it 24-20. I think that, when we're talking about TJ coming back, he's definitely going to be impactful, but I want to see to what level that is first game back after the extended, time away from the injuries, plural. I think Chris Olave is going to just create some type of issue because we've been seeing this year that for some reason we just like to pick and choose when, we're going to allow certain players to have success. And he just seems like that type of guy that's going to be able to have some success. But in the end, man, I do feel like we are the more consistent team in this matchup, and we will be able to win the turnover battle. And that's the big difference of why we get out the stadium. So that's what we're going to do, man. And I got the Steelers getting it done, 24-20. All right, let's see. I see y'all drop some score predictions in here. We're going to read a couple of these, and then we'll be up out of this thing by 35. Deke at the latest. Sound good?
Yep. Drew Kill says 9-6 Steelers. He's got a low-scoring affair.
Oh, okay. Rod Dollar, flip side, 31-17 Steelers getting it done.
Damon Brown. Kenny throws for 4 touchdowns. Over 300. Big game.
Okay. I like it. Craig Ellis, 24-17 Steelers. Trina Still Diva also spent the block, 21-17 Steelers. Okay.
William Lalini, 24-17 Saints. Says Kenny throws a late pick.
Ooh, that's tough. But I can understand it. I could definitely understand it. Let's see.
Steeler Nation on fire, 2017 Steelers.
Leah Warren, 20-17 Steelers. John Doe, 24-20 Steelers.
Braylon 92, 24-13. He says bad guys.
Skip Havens, 27-18 Saints. Not gonna lie. Thad Radcliffe, 27-13 Saints. All right. Then,
how about this one?
What you got for us?
Day GZ. This score 25-19 Steelers.
All right. Then we got Steeler Nation on fire, 20-17 Steelers. Young Rico, Saints win 24-13. C. Brown, Saints 14-10. Ooh, I like this one. Shoddy Bills, 17-24. Minka with two picks, and number 39 with a pick 6 as
I can
well.
see it. Nick Y and a solid defensive showing says 21-13. I like that. I feel like TJ goes off, and I feel like we take care of business against Dalton. I don't think Dalton's going to really look that good against us.
There we go.
Particularly at home, coming off the bye, and people are talking about how they got the short rest here coming off the Monday night game. I feel like that's something going to benefit us.
You got to travel. Absolutely. And then we will end it with Steven spinning a block on us one time. 24-14 Steelers. He says offense scores touchdowns. Defense is good.
That's how I feel. It's just going to be an all-around good team effort.
There we go. Whoa. We greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all that was with us this morning, man. Like we said, I will let y'all know on Friday, or we'll post something Thursday night on the community page, man, to let you know, if the show is on Friday and what time that will be. But either way, man, we appreciate the heck out of y'all. Stay safe out there and enjoy yourselves. But either way, until next time, baby.
Peace.